It you don't need to look at your Skype that much, do you?
Skype, not so much, man.
It's
Uh,
on the Skype chat.
all right, let me take a pic. Hey, the show's RPGrinders. Oh, here we go. All right, I clicked on it, Eric. I'm scared. Oh, this is new, huh?
Yeah, it's stuff you can do because you don't have to rely on emulators like Wine
Yeah.
or Boot Camp for you because I think it's Wine for Linux.
Oh wow, only $6 for all this stuff.
Yeah.
I might have to pick that up.
Oh, I think this is the new price. There was probably a lower price for like when it first started, but I didn't even know about it until today. So
Gotcha.
I really like the names of the first three, of the first two,
Yeah.
and then let's see, yeah, it's basically just the first two, or yeah,
I like
because
all the names. They're really good this week.
and actually the fourth one on this list was actually adapted into a two-episode anime. Yeah, some doujins get some anime adaptations sometimes.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, cool. I might have to pick that up. All right. Let's get out of this. Let's get out of this so I don't accidentally show.
I think at least three of these were in the previous manga sale, or the last two manga sales that they had.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have a great show today. Of course, this is Frank. I'm on with Eric RPG. Glad you all could join with us, even if you're not here live and you're listening on YouTube or the preferred method, Twitch. Welcome, everybody. Happy to have everybody here. We're waiting on Breakman. We're going to have a fantastic show for you all today. We're going to have a few news stories. We're going to talk about that bundle. You know what? Before I forget these Sony games, I need to download those on my well, not download them, but put them in my library. Before I forget, the PlayStation app is actually fairly helpful
For what?
for like adding those
But
games. Like if I forget to go on, like if I, you know, uh,
I have never used the PlayStation app, but now I might have to if I want to share a picture because they're getting rid of that feature. That's right. I need to add that to the Stinkos.
I think I already did. Hold on, maybe not. Yeah, no, I didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these things to my library.
Well, I say it's Twitter getting rid of it because it's probably true. Twitter wants more money for Sony to do the feature, and they don't want to pay, so they're just gonna not do it.
Add to library. There we go. All right. Think we're good. Got all those. Like I said, we're gonna have a great show. We got a few news stories today. Some discounts for you all. Next week is probably gonna be the big discount day. I'm guessing. Um,
Yeah, I wanted to look for like early Black Friday deals because I'm hoping that there's a deal for Lords of the Fallen.
I did see Tears of the Kingdom for $50. That's fairly decent. Uh,
That had happened earlier in the year though, so it's just doing that again. I thought it'd be even lower though.
yeah, we'll see. I'm holding off. I'm hoping that there's a deal on that.
I need to go to Cheap Ass Gamer to see if they've got any stuff up.
Yeah, Cheap Ass Gamer is a great website to go check out.
And then there's Deku deals for the Nintendo digital stuff.
See if Breakman left me any messages.
Sifting through Deku deals is hard though because there's so much junk on the eShop. You have to sift through all of it pretty much. I mean, you could go to DekuDeals.com and run a search for something specific and see if there's anything on sale, but that's the best you could really do.
I I posted Eric on Twitter, or X as it's called now. I said, join us for another stellar edition of the longest running podcast of its kind. At Eric RPG will give you a back rub. Not really.
I'm looking in Cheap Ass Gamers front page right now on the top deals in the forums. They list a God of War Ragnarok for $27.89 digital code.
That's not bad.
For the PS4 and PS5.
That's not bad.
I think buying one gets the other, so.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad.
But there's also another one that says $34.99.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll take the cheaper one.
So I don't know if one's not available, you can get the other one. Since it might be your mileage may vary, or they might have run out of code at this one place. And then there's Death Stranding Director's Cut for the PS5 for $10. That's the straight version. That's not the upgrade, which is just $10 by itself.
I already have that game, but I don't know if paying another $10 for that game would be worth it. I should probably play it.
The Director's Cut adds some stuff, but and obviously there's the PS5 performance, but you can just get the upgrade for the same price if you already have it on PS4.
Yeah, I think I already have it. I have to look. See what version I got.
Horizon Forbidden West digital code is $33.75. I see that here.
Oh, this is a game I was playing. I forgot to put this down. I'm gonna put this down right now.
Yeah, I don't. The top deals listed haven't listed any of the Black Friday stuff, so we'll probably see it next week.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jade Empire is $3.29 on Xbox. It's like I forgot that was a backwards compatibility game.
I know.
There's a lot of stuff on sale on Xbox, but you won't see it because, unless it's already in your wish list, because they have a specific wish list deals section. And you could just go to your wish list and see if something's on sale too. But, most of the stuff that hits the front page is the stuff that they're promoting, so it's hard to tell what else is on sale if it isn't already on your wish list.
I know I bought this goddamn game. Where the fuck is it?
Well, it's also a good place to get stuff on cheap year round. I wouldn't buy anything from Temu. Temu seems like a scam. Even if you're not getting scammed, I'm sure the way they sell stuff as cheap as they do, it feels like they're selling fleeced goods.
It does seem a little weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. I tweeted that a couple days ago, and game tactics guy Justin, he basically said, I know, which is why I use PayPal, because I guess he's got protection in case there's fraud.
Yeah.
And then he's managed to buy a couple games on cheap that way, but then I have to worry about, are those games legit, or are they bootlegs, or there's something wrong with them? It's yeah, you might get that even if the stuff he's buying so far is all legit copies. I bet at some point something's gonna be a bootleg.
You know what I bought for a couple of bucks about 2 weeks ago, and I'm kind of embarrassed. Agony.
I heard that game was dog shit.
Yeah, but for $2, I mean, you could get your money's worth in a game for $2. You know, even if you play it for an hour. I'll let you know. I'll try to play it this week sometime.
Here's 13 months Game Pass Ultimate for new expired subscribers for $56.
I knew I had Death Stranding.
Which is actually a pretty good deal considering how much it costs a year for that otherwise. And that's an extra month on top of a year.
Yeah, Scotima's in chat. What's up, Scotoma? Fast cars, cheap thrills. That's what I'm talking about. Was on sale. Need for Speed for $5. I was thinking of getting that. I think this is just the regular Death Stranding. I don't think it's
Yeah, it's not the upgrade.
So it cost me $10 to upgrade, huh?
Yeah.
So should I just get the edition with the extra stuff and then I don't know.
Well, upgrading it gives you the director's cut.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter either way.
Mm.
I don't even know if I want to do that. Is it worth it, Eric?
If you're already played and beaten it, then I'm not really.
Yeah. I think I'm good. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
All right. Cool.
I don't know why my brother didn't like Addams Family Values, but it was a pretty good movie.
It's pretty fun, man. Those movies are fun. I don't have
Like,
any
what were
issues
you
with them.
expecting from it?
It's fucking Addams Family, and it has Raul Julia.
Maybe he doesn't get the point of Addams Family.
That I don't know. Oh shit, that's not what I want to do. We're just waiting on Breakman to get on in. This is RPGrinders.
Compared to the original film, it isn't as good, but I think it's better than in some ways than the first film because it's not safe like the other one. It's actually playing with several different ideas.
We're waiting on Breakman.
Like the original movie feels like an extension of the episode TV series, while this new movie feels like they actually have something to say.
Yeah. All right, we're waiting on Breakman to get on in, but this is RPGrinders. We'll be starting here in just a second. Lots to talk about today. You know, next week after the show, Eric, like that Saturday, we get packed up to go to Vegas. So we'll be in Vegas, but I will be back in time, obviously, to do the show.
Following week.
Yeah, the following week. Yeah. Not a problem.
So will next week be a short show then? Because you're going to probably want to get to bed early.
Nah, because we got all day Saturday to do whatever. So I did pick up Avengers for, what was it, $5 or some shit?
If I wanted to pick that up, I'd have to find a retail copy.
Yeah, I picked it up before.
No, I'm not sure. Oh, well, maybe GameFly has a copy somewhere that I can rent. I doubt they'll let you buy it though, for that reason, because that's the only way to play the game now.
Yeah. Well, I bought it before they delisted it because I'm like, that. I mean, it's got to be worth $5, right, Eric? I mean, even if you get an hour or two.
The only other way I could play it is if somebody shared their account information with me.
Yeah. I picked it up for $5.
Or they had extra keys lying around somewhere.
If you find it, a physical copy, just buy it. It's probably like $5, $10, whatever. I just broke a screen for a window that I had to take out for ventilation. Super old. So I just rigged it to be in place. Yeah, that happens, Skoduma. Yeah, that shit happens, man. Screens and windows, stuff like that. I'm gonna assume break is ready, so let's get ready. Get break on the line here.
That reminds me, there's a game I wanted to play called Gunbrella, and I just haven't got around to it.
Gunbrella. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's you go around killing things with a gun, but it's also an umbrella, so it works like a shield.
That's cool. Skodma says, "How was your guys' week?" Let's ask Breakman. Breakman, how was your week, dude?
That's all right, I guess. Actually, you know what? I'll say it was pretty good. I'm gonna go with it was a good week.
There you go. You haven't had many of those the past.
To, float and large gaps.
My week is gonna get better and better, Break, because after I'm done with the show this week, next week, we go to Vegas.
Ooh.
So that's gonna be fun.
I wonder if you could gunbrella akimbo and just have two gunbrellas.
Gunbrella.
So, are we not doing a show next week?
No, we're doing a show. I'll be back by the day before Thanksgiving. So
okay. Cool.
we're staying 3 days at the Venetian. So
okay, so you're basically leaving like on Saturday or something then?
Yeah, we're getting packed on Saturday. We're leaving Sunday.
Okay.
We're staying Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So
Okay.
yeah. We don't really have any big plans while we're there. We're just gonna fuck around. Normally we do these passes where you can go on all these different excursions. But I think we're just we're just gonna play it by ear. I know what we're doing. Like the first full day we're there, we're gonna go to that aquarium at the MGM.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
one of my favorite things about Vegas is like any time of day there's shit open.
yeah, there's always something open.
4 a.m. Yeah, fuck, there's shit to do.
Yeah. I mean, always gambling.
Yep.
Always gambling.
Like, casinos are open 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of neat to like wake up or stay up late, like 3, 4 in the morning, and you get to see all the dredges in there gambling and stuff, and nobody ever wins at that time. You never hear like the machines like going off and stuff, but it's an interesting time. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. It's pretty cool. All right, you guys ready to rock the house? All right, let's do this. And welcome, everybody, to RPGrinders, episode 766. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great and Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. I'm pretty good.
Right on.
You know what? I'm so good that...
You should finish... You should... Hey, Breakman, you should have finished that sentence by saying, I'm so good that I'm going to get this out of my system right now. That's... I'm glad... There you go. A little bit of cowbell.
Are we sure that was actually Break, or is that actually Harmy just saying how good he feels?
Oh, Harmy's happy too.
Yeah. Scotimus says the thing I love most about Vegas is that most things are open 24/7. And then Scotimus says harmonica interruptus. It wouldn't be RPGrinders with a little bit of harmony interruptus.
If we need the RPGrinders RPG, we need to have like the bard pull out Harmy to do music.
Yeah.
Bass bells.
Yeah. You know what's funny? We just recently got a badge on Podbean for 750 episodes. I guess we've been on that platform for 750 episodes, even though we're on episode 766. So that's kind of cool. Shit, I've been thinking a lot about that actually. But anyways, let's get on with the news so we can. I
think it's less than that, but like, I guess they just decided to put a watermark somewhere, so that was it.
I guess, I don't know. 766
so what do we get
we're
with
up
our
to.
badge? Do we gain any like special discounts or something?
I wish, dude. I mean, they hammer us for $100.
Coupons for to let us buy stuff at least.
I know. No,
they can give us like hotel recommendations or give us the services of hooker or something like that.
Some blow, I mean, come on, man. I mean, 750 episodes deserves a little bit of blow.
Give me a subscription to like HelloFresh, so I don't have to worry about cooking.
You're like the most wholesome one out of the bunch here, Eric. Like
I'm with sex, you're with drugs, I'm food.
Craig and I are talking about hookers and blow, and here's Eric. I want a subscription to HelloFresh. I agree with you though. Scotoma says free crack. Yeah, why not, man? Let's do it. All right, let's get to the news, guys.
Give me some gummies.
RPG news. I agree. Gummies would be pretty fantastic. But all right, Eric, first story.
First story is from RPG site, and King Arthur Knight's Tale's got a release date for February 22nd, and that's pretty much it.
It's a tactical RPG, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, more for me.
I know, more for Break. Break is the resident tactical RPG guy. All right, Break. Next story.
Not just tactical, but role playing. I love the strategy games too,
I
and
know.
I hope to play it later. I got downloaded Dungeons 4. I'm
Oh,
excited.
there you go.
Can't wait. Anyway, coming to us live from RPG site. Neptunia Sisters versus Sisters makes its way to the Nintendo Switch on January 23rd, 2024.
What Break needs to do is he needs to start playing the Like a Dragon series, starting with the Yasuko 1 through 3.
Oh my God, that's a crazy endeavor, man. I started it.
So play Yakuza 0 and then play 1, then the new version of 1 and the new version of 2, and then play 3 through 5.
Yeah,
and then 6.
I played through 0. And
then you could finally play Like a Dragon Gaiden, and then play Like a Dragon 7, which is just Like a Dragon, and then when Infinite Wealth comes out, you'll be ready for it.
And then Judgment. Don't forget Judgment, Eric, and Lost.
Yeah,
Judgment.
Judgment is like separate, but it takes place in the same universe and around the same time that, like, a couple of years before Like a Dragon starts.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on this?
Well, let me see. Neptunia Scissor Sisters. Nintendo Switch. Mayo and Andre are playable. There's DLC for swimsuits, and it'll be on December 23rd.
All I saw was Neptunia Scissors versus Sisters, and I was interested.
You said it wrong on purpose.
Not Scissors versus. Oh, my bad. I was wrong.
Yeah,
you're right.
I like the first version though. Scissors versus Sisters. I'd pay to see that sequel for sure.
Well, the games can be pretty gay, so
Yeah. Well, that's cool. All right.
But it also mentions stuff about the Xbox version, but we don't know when it's coming out yet.
Yeah. Well, we know when this is coming out. Touhou Spell Carnival launches for PS5, 4, and Switch, spring of 2024. And there's some.
Here's some details that they left out. That Break didn't mention, but the Xbox version is not going to have 2 characters that are in the Switch version, which is weird. I'm assuming it's because they're Switch editions, but due to the way the game is scheduled, they probably can't work it in. But maybe they'll release it later as a free update. So who knows?
Scotman says, scissoring? You're into incest? Or is it like nuns? Well, I mean...
That's what I thought was nuns. Are we talking about like actual like sisters?
No, I like the hot nuns, man.
I was thinking nuns.
No, we're talking about
not
actual
corrupted
girls.
It, Scotama. Gee, thanks.
Nothing to do with...
Ruined my fantasy.
Nothing to do with nuns. Yeah.
I love nuns, sexy nuns. Halloween, there's always at least...
Although, I wouldn't be opposed to playing a fighting game or something called Sisters versus Sisters, where it is about nuns fighting each other, but they're all anime girls.
That would be cool too. Hey, what's up, Freak 5? Nice to have you in chat as always.
Two factions of nuns that are one wants, like, the one group wants to become higher levels of clergy rather than just being stuck as nuns, and the other one wants to preserve tradition, and that's what the fight's about.
Yeah.
And each battle, it's like they're fighting to see who can get the other one naked first.
Oh, definitely.
The break off living. That's it. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. But keep the habit on. You know what I mean? I'm good with that. But yeah, that would definitely be hot, man. Every Halloween, there's always like 1 or 2 hot nuns that you see on the streets, and it's like, man, that's good stuff right there. All right, let's see. I think it's Eric's turn next.
Touhou Spell Carnival has got a release.
I just did that one.
Oh,
Eric.
You did?
Yeah.
I was so stuck on the sisters thing that
I know you were distracted by the nuns, man.
Okay, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Upheaval in Jiangnan, releases on December 12th, and Neo 2 crossovers mission is out now. So the Neo crossovers were like, I guess they're adding an extra special level for like free. But it's the third and final DLC. And I think all the DLC packs are about like $12 each, so you're better off just buying the season pass.
Yeah. I heard Wolong is not great.
I've heard the opposite. I don't think it's too divisive a game, but it's really it's like how much of a Neo fan are you versus how much of a Souls fan are you?
Yeah, yeah. So you like religion when it's blasphemy? LOL. Scotoma says. I got no problem with it, man. I mean, if it involves hot nuns, I'm good. All right, Breakman. Next story, please. Oh, this is a game we've talked about extensively on this show.
Just sad news, but
This
it's
is.
actually it isn't sad news because it's not like a cancellation; it's just a delay. But coming to us live from RPG site, Broken Roads has been delayed till next year. And here's the official statement from them: since 2019, the Drop Bear Fights team has been pouring their hearts and souls into Broken Roads, spending countless hours designing, troubleshooting, and adjusting to player feedback. While Broken Roads is still coming, we've made the decision to delay the release to allow additional polish time and QA manpower, plus resources to ensure a higher quality bar for the thousands of permutations that can arise. While the game is now content complete, it is also coming in longer than we originally anticipated, at 30 hours of gameplay and nearly 400 words of dialogue.
400,000.
400,000 words of dialogue. As you can imagine, it's extremely time-consuming to properly test all these. This was not an easy decision. However, the teams here at Drop Bear Bites and Versus Evil have decided that to ensure we deliver the highest quality product, it would be best to delay the game's launch just a bit longer until next year. We'd like to thank the community for your continued support and patience with us. We're committed to delivering a game that will exceed the community's expectations, and I believe this move will help us just that.
If they release it in January, it's going to put them in a better position to not have to compete with the likes of stuff like Persona 3 Reloaded and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Yeah, I think this is a good move all the way around. They can take care of some bugs, polish it up.
They don't have to worry about competing against Call of Duty.
Yeah, I know Call of Duty. It's a shame that nobody can release games around Call of Duty. I mean, it really is. Drop Bear, these guys are really nice, man. I can't remember who we had on, but we had one of the reps from Drop Bear.
I gotta call him again when it gets closer to release.
Yeah. Well, let's try to call him before then, Eric. You know. But we've had these guys on before.
I'd rather not, though, because I'd rather them get the game done first.
Well, of course.
Well,
but
their PR department's not working on the game.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think we had the developer with us, so that's why.
Yeah. We've had these guys on before. They're good dudes. They are, and the game looks really, really good. I'm excited for it. I'll definitely be supporting Broken Roads. Like I said, we've had these guys on before, and we're gonna try to get them on again. Hopefully before and after, man, because it's been a long road for those cats, man. We caught them like right at the beginning of development. I think we were one of the first podcasts to get a hold of these guys and really delve into all this. Scotoma says, "Oh, did you guys hear about the Congresswoman trying to get the Epstein flight logs released?" I didn't hear about that, but that's awesome. Freak5 says, "Watching two attractive women scissoring doesn't make me internet in incest, even if they are sisters." Oh, interested. Okay. If they aren't my sisters, them being into incest isn't the turn on. It's them being hot and scissoring that's the turn on. I mean, okay, that's your interpretation. But
they're not my sisters. Who cares?
I know they're not mine. I mean, who gives a shit? Fuck them.
The only incest I'm interested in is my own.
All right, Breakman, you're up next.
Oh, I am? I thought I just did Broken Roads.
Oh, you did? Okay, it's my turn. Shit, my bad. It's Darkest Dungeon 2, the Binding Blade DLC announced for December. So there you go. Darkest Dungeon is one of the toughest fucking games, man. It's really hard, man. And it's got permadeath, which makes it even worse.
The subtitle Darkest Dungeon 2, even darker.
Yeah, Darkest Dungeons 2, even harder than the first.
More darkest.
Yeah, more darkest. The darkliest.
DLC. The You Are Fucked DLC.
Yeah.
And then the second one, You're Extra Fucked this time. You're not going to beat this DLC.
The darkliest. Something like that, man. Oh, shit. Okay, Eric, next story.
Next story. Blizzard Entertainment announces the next three expansions for the World of Warcraft, starting with The War Within.
How?
Yeah.
I don't understand how this game is still going.
So this is the 10th expansion. It's coming out next year.
Yeah,
followed by Midnight and The Last Titan.
Are they ever going to come out with a sequel proper, like a new Warcraft game, or is it just going to be forever just expansion?
They're just going to keep running as long as people keep playing it.
I mean, it's still popular, but holy shit!
I wonder what will fall first, this game or EverQuest 2?
Probably EverQuest, man.
Classic World of Warcraft and stuff like that. Like they just, instead of going for a sequel, they've always just expanded on this one or going backwards, you know.
Yeah, I maybe they'll move on once they're ready to reveal the DLC expansions for these, but for the classic version.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. I mean, how many games have that type of longevity? You know, that are actually supported that long? I mean, not very many, right? I mean,
I keep thinking of the monthly price to play that game.
I know, it's crazy, and then you have to pay for the game.
Anyways, the key feature of The War Within is that the level cap will be raised to 80.
Okay.
I'm surprised the level cap is actually still that low. That the 80 is the new cap.
I thought that was at 100.
I think they changed some things and they just truncated it at some point.
Oh, okay.
Got you.
Okay.
All right, break.
No, surprised about that. Okay, coming to us live from RPG site. Blizzard Entertainment announces Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred expansion set to release 2024. That's a fucking sick name.
I love that name, man. Vessel of Hatred. That's really badass.
Let me see here. With a campaign that continues the dark tale that begins in Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred brings players back to learn the fate of the prime evil Mephisto and his demonic plans for Sanctuary. Travel to the lush jungles known by the locals as, who cares? There's jungles.
Yeah, who cares? Now, do you think Diablo 4 will have like a Game of the Year edition where they have all the expansions on it, or is this just gonna be?
I think there'll only be this, and then that's it. But because like Diablo 3 only had one expansion, and it had a couple of content updates related to that. But
I keep waiting.
It be like the Game of the Year edition, but it doesn't seem like they do that kind of thing anymore.
Yeah,
like they seem to have moved on from that.
But they'll make a bundle with this expansion included, and that's
I'm waiting for Diablo 4 to get cheaper. It looks great, but the game that I also want to get is Baldur's Gate. I'm hoping that there's a sale on that one too. But
I read that's coming to Xbox soon.
Yeah. Freak5 says I might play WoW again at some point, but I will now wait until that third expansion is out. That's smart thinking, Freak5.
The third, it's the 10th expansion.
Yeah, the 10th.
Yeah, I think, is he talking about WoW Classic?
Yeah, WoW Classic, because the third expansion's not out yet.
Okay, yeah, so he's probably talking about WoW Classic.
When you buy the latest expansion, you get all the earlier expansions you don't have for free. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Definitely smart. Okay, I think it's Eric's turn to do the last story.
The last story is Remnant 2's first DLC is called The Awakened King, and it comes out November 14th, and it will be priced at $10.
Huh. That's not bad. I wonder how many hours you get with that, though.
But the season pass is $25, so yeah.
I wonder how many expansions they're doing or DLCs they're doing.
Just 3.
Yeah. Oh, just 3?
Yeah.
So you save $5 if you get the $25 expansion pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. That seems okay, I guess. All right. So there's the news, guys.
One thing I forgot to mention with this is that the first DLC will introduce a new character class called, the Ritualist, which basically is a debuffing class.
Yeah. I'm... Sorry. My mic just unplugged. I might get Game Pass.
Debuffing class working.
Wait, is Baldur's Gate 3 coming to Game Pass?
I don't know if it's coming to Game Pass, but I know it's coming to Xbox.
Oh shit! It would be a no-brainer. If Baldur's Gate 3 went to Game Pass, I'd just get the Game Pass and have access.
There's already so many games. I just do not have enough time to play.
No, there's good games on there. Break. I was looking. I'm like, damn, that's
Break can take a break from Starfield and play something else.
I know. I don't think he wants to take a break from Starfield, man.
I can't. I got too much to do. Like, it's like a job. Like, you gotta go get certain resources. You gotta go back to your base and build this.
You know what? There's certain games that are like that are like fucking jobs. You know, one of them that was so addictive like that, Breakman, was that fucking. Well, WoW for sure, but I didn't play WoW for that reason. But fucking something as simple as fucking Animal Crossing, man. like
oh yeah, definitely.
You'd get like fucking weeds, and then you'd have to go pick all those fucking weeds, and for some reason you didn't mind fucking picking the weeds. You know, it's like, okay. It's like,
the only thing that mattered was going back to Tom Nook and like, please don't have anything else for me. Please don't have anything.
I know.
God damn it.
I know. Nook, man. I know. The fear of Nook, man, for sure. All right. Any homie discounts? I know, Eric.
Yeah, I got a bundle.
Yeah, you got a bundle, I think, and it's a pretty fun bundle.
Yeah, I forgot to remove the Sony PS Plus games. We did that last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's my Indie Gala our 18 plus bundle for manga. It's called the Daw Island bundle, and for $6 you get all this manga. And here are the names of the manga.
You guys aren't prepared for this, man.
Yeah, I don't know how to mention the name of these first one with the 2 volumes, because on the thing it says, "I'll nail you like crazy, really deep." But on the side here's the secret account girl screwed by a porn actor.
I love it.
So I don't know. Maybe one's the subtitle and the other one's the title. I don't know. But the next one is Chapter 1 of 2 a.m. Scold Me with a Kiss. A harem island where you can have sex with women 24/7. A heaping serving of girls 1 and 2.
So wait, the name of the title is seriously our Harlem where you can have sex with women?
A harem island where you can have sex with women 24/7.
There's no like this is it. This is the description, the title, this is everything.
And all which by the way has an anime adaptation if you're willing to search torrents or actually purchase it legally if you can. Probably on some place like DL site, but
or you could just probably find it on Pornhub.
Yeah. Pornhub's probably a bad place to look. You're better off finding it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like they try to
because Pornhub can't like really put licensed stuff on there. They usually obfuscate the actual title with something that describes what's happening in the video.
Yeah.
But here's the next one: an all-woman resort where you can have sex with anyone, which sounds a bit like the last one we talked about. Androids for sale, my very own harem, which was mentioned in the previous bundle, and a world where you could screw anyone is the next one. Anything Goes Inc. A Jellyfish Girl's Pet Mating Diary, parts 1 and 2. Broken Wife. Absolute Monarch Complex, volumes 1 and 2. And Captive Dolls Training and Auction, chapters 1 through 6.
I think it's a pretty good deal for $6, man. A lot of content there. Not bad. All right. Any other homie discounts? You got any, Break?
There is actually some Black Friday stuff that was coming up. Buy 2 get 1 free on
Target,
pretty much everything at Target, for instance. So Switch games, buy 2 get 1 free. Just saying.
They had a deal on Tears of the Kingdom for $50, which I thought was pretty interesting. I know they've had that deal before, but I don't have that game yet, and I need to get it. So that's pretty appealing. Maybe they'll go $5 cheaper or something during Black Friday. That's what I'm kind of waiting for. Mm-hmm. So, but we will have way more deals next show, I think. Or is that too late? Is that past? I think that's past.
No, we got one more. We got one more episode before Black Friday.
Oh, okay.
Before Thanksgiving.
Oh, there we go.
We have next Friday, and then Thanksgiving is the 23rd.
Okay, well, perfect then. Then we can give you guys a rundown of a bunch of deals. I'm sure there's going to be 50 million deals. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, and the buy two get one free is apparently it's an early Black Friday sale, so it's going on right now.
Oh, there you go. Scoma says
that's a Target
games and puzzles.
It's buy two get one, or is it buy one get one?
Buy two.
Get one.
Did I say buy one get one?
No, you said buy two.
I don't know if there's 2 games I'd be willing to purchase.
Yeah, I know. It's a good
I
deal.
already got most of the things I want so far this year.
I need to get
I can only think of like maybe one game I don't have, like a Silent Hope and maybe something else, and then I could maybe find something for free. Yeah. But I'll have to look.
Scotoma says all that debauchery for $6 is a good deal. I mean, I agree, Scotoma. I think that's actually a pretty damn good deal. All right, let's move on to what we've been playing.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Mostly Starfield. Just building new outposts and trying to connect them, and I haven't advanced the story much at all, I think, since last time. Just getting more money. Getting more ships.
You're not getting any free games, Freak 5. I know what he's angling for. He says you could buy games as gifts. Not happening, Freak 5, son of a bitch.
Well, look, you can go to Target right now and you can buy two, get one free, and it includes like books and stuff like that. So you can get Britney Spears book and Mario and something else. There you go.
Hey, there you go. I'll buy Freak 5 a Britney Spears book. There you go. All right. Anything else, Break?
Well, Starfield is it's so much fun. I love it. But yeah, like I said, sometimes it feels like work because you gotta get all these resources together, and there's a certain mechanic that resets the stores if you sleep for in game. I think it's like 48 hours, something like that. So I'm going and sitting there, going, getting all the resources, collecting them, spending all my money, emptying the stores, and then going sitting down and staring at the screen while the menus, the little bars counting down for sleep over and over again.
Yeah, Freak says he wants the new Mario game. Feel free
I don't think that's what Nolan Bushnell was thinking when he was building video games. It would be something like that would we do.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Freak 5, go ahead and buy the new Mario game, buy another game, and then buy Tears of the Kingdom and send it to me. It won't cost you,
Oh God, Mario Wonder looks so fucking amazing. I want that.
It does. It looks good. I need to get that game too, man. Yeah, for sure. All right, Eric, what have you been playing?
Just more Dark Souls, but I also played a little bit of Dragon Quest Plus today, which is the remake of Dragon Quest 1 with a lot of extra stuff added on top. And like one of the very first things you'll notice in the game, other than the graphical overhaul, is the fact that you have to go to a church to save, but also the game has a personality test, much like Dragon Quest III's remake on the Super Famicom did, and that will determine your personality, and which affects your stats minorly. So mine was innate because it also asks you for your birthday, and then he says the early and so I guess that probably plays a bigger role than the questions that you're asked, and then the little scenario that you have to play that which finalizes your personality. But like the game asks you if you're a dog or a cat lover, because the main character actually has a house now.
Why do you have to choose? Why is it either or? I have both.
Yeah, like why isn't third option like both?
Yeah, it's messed up. Whatever.
But anyways, so I picked dogs. There's a dog in my house, and the house also has mini medals because this game has mini medals. Because the mini medals come into play during the game's significantly longer post game, because there's a post game to this version of the game, and they're using a translation that's kind of a mix between the original Japanese translation, so it's not Erdrick, it's Roto, and some of the more familiar Dragon Quest localizations that the actual official localizations use. So it could take some getting used to when you see monsters with certain names that you don't remember if you played only the newer games or the older games. But it's looking pretty good, and I want to see if I can't get Nightfly to show up on our podcast to talk about his game, because it'd be kind of interesting to ask him a question like, how do you feel about developing this when there's a remake on the horizon, or a supposed remake? Because I think the director shouted he wanted to do an HD 2D HD remake of 1 and 2, because he said that during the announcement of the third game. So I'm wondering how he felt about developing this when that was going on.
That would be interesting to ask for sure, Eric.
And how hard development is when you're doing a game by yourself on an old ass RPG making engine.
Yeah. Such
as RPG Maker 2003, because that's the engine he used.
Wow, that had to be some task for sure. Freak5 says, or Frank could send me a sample from this year's harvest.
Or whether or not he encountered any legal issues with Square. I don't know how they approach fan game things. Maybe they don't care. Who knows?
What do you think of this idea, guys? Freak says you guys should do an episode high to celebrate Ohio making it legal. I
won't be celebrating just yet because the GOP is basically saying we're gonna try everything in the book to try to get this repealed.
They could try, but the voters voted.
Yeah, but we'll get to that in Stinker.
If they fight, I really hope people vote him out of office because if you're just completely ignore what the will of the people of the state of Ohio, you should just don't deserve to be a politician anymore.
Yeah, the only way things are going to change and that they, we voted for something that's going to be, as much as they said they're going to take it apart and tear it apart, and they even said they're going to tear apart issue 1, which is a constitutional amendment. But see, I don't want to get into this right now.
Let's wait. Skodman says new GTA 5 code is a George Soros mode for get away with all crime mode. Okay, billionaires get away with everything, man. So
Wait, there are cheat codes to the game that people are still discovering.
No, he's just being facetious, Eric. All right.
Or is there an actual
mod? Talk about the Democrats' escape billionaire card.
Yeah, exactly.
I think who's the Republican? Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel's like the Republican.
Thiel, yeah, or piece of shit Facebook guy. What's his name? Or Bezos, or any of those.
Or the Koch brothers, as I call them.
Oh yeah, the Koch brothers.
Yeah. The Koch brothers.
Freak5 says the dispensary I go to gives a discount to people with a medical card. Yeah, there's a lot of discounts for people with med cards.
You have to be surprised if there's a mod that actually does exactly that, though.
Yeah. All right. I've been playing. Check this out, guys. I dabbled in a little bit of Mass Effect 1.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to start that journey though, man. That's a long ass journey to go 1 through 3. It's a lot, especially 1. 1 is like traditional turn-based more than anything. And it definitely
more action-y. By the third one, it feels more like an action game.
Yeah, I know. I prefer the turn-based stuff, but I know that it's gonna get away from what I like best, and that's gonna piss me off. So I don't know. I put that down for a second. I played a game called Adrift. You want to talk about a stressful fucking game? Adrift is a stress. I've never had a stress. I played fucking all the Resident Evils, and Resident Evil Village was super stressful, especially that beginning part with the goddamn wolves, and you're running out like a fucking banshee everywhere, and you don't know what the fuck to do. But Adrift is fucking crazy, man. Like, you wake up and your space station is all fucked up, and you have a suit, but your suit's all fucked up, so you have to manually get oxygen every so often, and it's fucking crazy, man. And it's just, there's no real enemies to it. You're just going around like a bunch of debris and trying to find oxygen and trying to find out how to repair shit. I don't know. It's a mess of a game, but it's fun. But is it stressful, man? Adrift.
If you like Adrift, then you might like Dredge, which is about the ocean.
Yeah. I might like that too. But Adrift is okay. Like I said, it's just a little stressful, man. You're always looking for oxygen. I don't know if that changes later on, but God damn, man, that game is stressful as fuck, man. I even Dark Souls isn't that stressful to me as this game was. I was like, holy shit, I gotta put this down for a second. So that's what I've been playing. Let's go on to reviews.
RPGrinders reviews.
Break, did you have a review this week?
Let me see here. I mean, I guess I could, but nah, I don't really feel like it.
Okay.
I guess, like, well, I watched the latest thing of The Walking Dead, and it's really different from the rest of The Walking Dead that we've seen. Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. And the reason is because it's in a completely different setting than, the America. This one actually happens in France now. So that means there are a lot less assault rifles, which it does change the show in a lot of ways. Like in later seasons of Walking Dead, it turned into an assault rifle war for the most part,
Yeah.
But in this one, like they're only people with assault rifles are the military. Everybody else has got rifles for the most part.
Yeah, I saw the first episode and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
Do they modify them to make them automatic?
I don't know. All the guns look really old, so I doubt there's much modifying that they can do with those. But it's and there's nuns in the first episode. One of the main characters.
Nuns with guns, yes, killing zombies.
Yes.
No, not guns. No, swords and maces and stuff like that. That was what the nuns were using.
I just have one question for you.
Probably because that's all
Breakman.
I could find, maybe.
Breakman, I just have one question. Was there any scissoring involved with the nuns?
Wait. What I want to know is why did the church keep such deadly weapons that they had access to them?
It was apparently it used to be a castle or something like that, and it was how the military at the time had like swords and shit like that. Those are weapons, but like it's an interesting plot because basically there's a kid who the French people, the nuns all think is basically the next Jesus, and Daryl gets tasked with trying to get him from point A to point B. Kind of
So it's Death Stranding, but in the Walking Dead universe.
So they think he's Jesus because they've already gone insane, so they'll just take anything at this point.
Yeah. Break and Eric should look into how they can legally remove the Republicans from office that are saying they want to ignore the will of the people.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we can talk about that later. I mean, the only thing we can do is just vote for Democrats, essentially, because that's the only ones who can get the Republicans out.
Yeah, not a great option, but okay.
No. But we've got Republicans who are they're violating the Constitution. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, states' rights and all, they're all about states' rights, you know?
States' rights. When they say states' rights, they mean rights for them.
It's a dog whistle for us, not for anybody else.
Yeah.
It's good for me.
This should be up to the states, and we decided something, and they're like, no, wait, whoa, we're sorry about that.
Let's not get crazy now.
Yeah. No, don't get crazy.
No, we didn't think you guys were actually going to vote for that. I mean, come on now, you know.
And Mike DeWine had these ads, like, I guess they started a couple months before the election, but it was him and his wife saying, like, how all these bad things are going to happen if one gets passed. And half of what they said were lies, and the other half were, like, just opinions. But, like, they said things like it's going to allow your parental rights are going to be usurped and stuff like that. No, because there's already a law in the Ohio Constitution about that. Like, kids need parental permission to get an abortion. There's already a law.
Yeah.
This law does not cancel that law.
Right.
But one of the things that he said in his commercials, this is a super extreme law. Like right now, we've got this 15-week. We've got it as 15 weeks, and they're going to go with this extreme thing. 15 weeks, right? But he's not. He's hiding the fact that he wrote or got into law the 6-week ban. So if this law failed, immediately the 6-week ban would have kicked in. He was just flat out lying to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what politicians do, man. I mean, we're conditioned to it now. Break,
but this is different because this wasn't normally with politicians. They're lying to us to get themselves elected. This was the Republican Party actually put money into fighting an amendment
Yeah.
That's not something that normally happens.
Yeah. All right, let's
I have
talk.
a question
Normally,
for
we don't get the mayor or the governor of our state going on air and telling us that we can't vote for this because it's going to do this.
Yeah.
And flat out
Well,
lie to us.
that I can't think of anything more un-American than telling people not to vote the way that they want to vote. That's it is what it is. But let's talk about it in Stinkos, guys. I know we're gonna have plenty of time to talk about it. So
anyway,
I had a
just
question
real quick,
that's
Walking Dead.
unrelated to anything we were talking about. But,
what, Eric?
Did any of you play Super Bomberman R2? Because it kind of just came out, and I heard nobody on Twitter ever talking about it.
I didn't even know it was a thing, Eric.
Yeah, it came out earlier this year, I think.
Nope, didn't know.
No,
All right.
I don't think so.
So what are you giving Daryl Dixon?
It's better than what we've gotten from The Walking Dead lately. I mean, honestly, because we've gotten Fear the Walking Dead, which has got beer balloons and giant alligators and shit, and then we had the End of The Walking Dead, which was a sanitized version of the comic with a billion assault rifles, and it was mostly just. I mean, there were episodes where it was all you could hear was gunfire, just assault rifle after assault rifle type stuff, So it was kind of refreshing.
So it was kind of like G.I. Joe, the audio version of a G.I. Joe gunfights where it's all laser shots because they can't use actual bullets.
It was annoying at some points, but I understand. If it's a zombie apocalypse, if you get an assault rifle, I mean, who wouldn't want that? But I think that alone makes it a more fresh appeal to the.
Maybe I'll watch it.
So what's the name of the show?
Daryl Dixon.
Daryl Dixon. He's the only character from. Well, him and there's another character who'll make a cameo, but I'm not going to spoil that.
So is this the Norman Reedus show, or is this?
Yeah, this is his show.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It ends on a huge cliffhanger. I thought it was a lot more fun than the normal. I'm not saying this is great. I'm not saying Frank, go out and watch this because I know how you feel about Walking Dead, so I don't think it's going to change your opinion any. I say it's about 6.5, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm going to try to watch it, Break. I watched that first episode because it came on my Shudder feed, and I'm like, all right, let me see if this is any different. And then I saw Daryl Dixon talk, and I was like, nope, no different. And I was like, okay. But I'll give it a shot based on what you said on your recommendation, Break.
I just recommended you don't watch it, though.
No. I mean, you made a compelling case. It's a different, fresh perspective, and I'll check it out.
There's one thing that bothers me about this Target buy 2 get 1 deal is that the pricing for a lot of these seems to be off. Some of them are too high. They should have been discounted by now.
Well, wait for Black Friday, man. All right, Eric, what review do you have?
I have a review for Addams Family Values, but I also have a review on the feed for Fist, Forged and Shadow Torch.
Oh, cool. I didn't see that.
Here's Addams Family Value review. This movie was released back in 1993. The version of the movie I watched was on Paramount Plus, and God, this movie needs a remaster because it looks old as shit now. The quality of the footage is pretty good considering its age, but you could tell the film is because of all the film grain that was being present in the film when I was watching it. But this is obviously the sequel to the Addams Family live-action movie that came out, I think, at least 2 years prior. Raul Julia's in it, and it's about a nanny. They have a kid, and they need to get the nanny to take care of Pugsley and Wednesday because they're fighting each other, but as usual. But they're also trying to kill the baby because they feel like they're neglected now. But the nanny ends up being a murderer that basically murders men, and then after marrying them, stealing their money. But so her plot is to send them off to a camp for summer, and then marry Fester, and crazy shit happens. And I really like the whole camp thing. It's a bunch of rich morons that are vain and hate the normal people.
Yeah, whoever decided to send Wednesday to camp is a fucking genius. Everything about that was absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Christina Ricci was awesome in that movie.
Pugsley is kind of a bit player in this, and he doesn't get much to do. But it's more Wednesday's movie than anything.
Well, I mean, let's be real here.
She makes it our movie with how she behaves in camp. I mean, when she tries to smile, for instance, and
the whole Indian genocide thing was pretty awesome. Man. I love it, man. It's a great movie, man. What are you giving this movie, Eric?
I'm giving it, a 9.
Yeah, I think that's fair, man. It's like you said, Break and Chat. It's superior to the first. Although I did like the first movie quite a bit. I liked
the first one. It was okay though. I mean, but it was. It was predictable. We all knew, well, he's going to be, we know who he is. Like, he's got amnesia and he'll remember at the end and everything like this. But sending Wednesday to the summer camp was just absolutely genius. And then at the end, like, when Gomez is calling, like, the talk shows and shit, like, fucking genius.
I think it's
interacting with the real world is what made the second one far more superior.
Yeah, I like the I think this is Christina Ricci's second best role, next to Black Snake Moan.
I never got around to watching that movie.
Oh God, it's not a
really
great.
Good Monster. She was really good in that movie.
She was good in Monster. I forgot about that role too, man. That was
never
good.
saw Monster either.
She should have been. Did she even get nominated? I don't think she even got.
So.
Yeah, and that's bullshit, man. Because she was good in that movie, man. Charlize Theron.
Now I'm
was
curious
excellent.
to watch the Wednesday show on Netflix.
You know what? I kind of am too, man. I haven't seen it yet, but All right. So what are you giving? Oh, you gave it a 9. Okay, I got 2 quick hitting reviews, real quick. First is a movie that I forgot to review last week called Anna and the Apocalypse, and it's a musical about a zombie apocalypse, and it's pretty fucking good. I mean, you got the apocalypse. I mean, the first. It's sort of like High School Musical, set in the apocalypse. If you like musicals, you're gonna love it, and if you love horror movies, you're really gonna love it. And I liked it for the horror aspect. I thought it was a pretty good movie in general. I'm not too into musicals all that much, but this one's pretty good, man. I'm gonna give it let's give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty damn good, and the acting was great. All of them were British actors, I believe, or Australian. I can't remember, but pretty damn good. You guys should check it out, man. It's on Shudder. You can see it in other places. Skonoma says, I used to fantasize about Christina Ricci and coming on her large forehead. What?
Wow.
That's a pretty specific fantasy, Skonoma. But hey, not bad, man. I mean, it pales in comparison to nun scissoring, but, pretty good. I like the Wednesday show on Netflix, Freak 5 says.
What show was that movie? What movie was that?
Wednesday, the show?
No, the movie you're just talking about.
Oh, Anna and the Apocalypse. It's on Shudder, man. It's pretty good. I like it. And it's not like intrusive. Like a lot of musicals are super intrusive with music every 5 seconds, and I don't like that.
No, I've said many times I hate musicals, and it's a lie. I like them anyway.
No, I don't, because like every 5 seconds is a song, and I don't like that type of musical.
I don't like all musicals. Don't get me wrong, but there's some that I really like.
But this one's good, man. You should check it out, man. I was pleasantly surprised. I had no idea it was a musical. I just thought it was about this chick in the apocalypse, but it was fun, man. It's especially couples. I mean, definitely watch it as a couple. You and Mrs. Break will have a pretty good time, man. A lot of fun. And you know what? Musicals are usually very happy and uplifting, and they always end like really great. This is a little different.
I watched Adam's Family Values because it was thematically appropriate, because there's the whole Thanksgiving play thing going on.
Yeah, it is a Thanksgiving movie for sure. And something else that I'd watched and I hadn't seen in a long time, Fright Night. But not only did I watch Fright Night, but I got to see it in 4K for the first time, and it's as good as ever, man. It's fucking great, and it's really good in 4K. It holds up. The practical effects are pretty awesome. Fright Night is just awesome. It's a 9 out of 10 movie for me. So make sure you check it out. The 4K transfer is pretty good. They've been better, but I mean, this is pretty fucking good. So make sure you check that out. Let's move on to everybody's.
As good as CGI has gotten and stuff like that, and it's still practical effects are still the best.
Oh man, like the Thing in 4K break. Like I bought the Steelbook Thing in 4K, and it's so fucking good, and it holds up really, really well. I mean, there was never a time I watched The Thing or Fright Night where I was like, man, that really shows its age, Nope, none of that. Same thing with American Werewolf in London, man. Another one with great practical effects. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
No, Scotoma, you definitely don't want to see that. He says, I want to see Frank do an interpreted dance to that musical. I don't think so, man. Nobody wants to see that, Scotoma, except maybe Bernie. All right, Breakman, your Stinko of the week.
All right, let me take several as usual. Let's go with one that's it's really just a novel one. It's lighthearted, essentially. It's just a way of life in sports. But Joey Votto is no longer a Red.
Oh, I saw that. I'm so disappointed, man. I thought they would at least.
But I understand them not wanting to sign him again because he's not like he's never been the same since he had that knee injury.
They couldn't even sign him as a designated hitter, really?
That's what really irritates me, though. It's like,
come on.
If they bring the designated hitter in next year, like they keep talking about, like he'd be perfect for it.
I know. Can you imagine that? And you can give him like a $10 million a year contract for a couple years, and he finishes out his career there. I have a feeling he's not going to retire. He's going to fucking go somewhere else, man.
I was thinking he might retire, but I don't know. He might go somewhere else. It depends, I think, on what he gets offered because he does a lot of like broadcasting around here. Like I think he could have a really good job broadcasting.
He was such a great player in Cincinnati. Break. Like I don't know what it is, but like before the Rockies were a thing here in Denver, my team was always the fucking Reds. I always rooted for the Cincinnati Wildcats. I always fucking rooted for any Cincinnati team. I don't know what the fuck it was. Maybe because everybody else here really loved the Cubs. And I was just like, rebellious, and I didn't want to, follow that team. But it was always the Reds for me, man. And the Bengals were like my second favorite team. I was so rooting for them to beat the fucking 49ers and all that. But I don't know, man. Like
it's just a way of sports,
Yeah, but I'm just like, God damn it, man. For fuck's sake, man. He's been there, 17 years? I mean,
I'm hoping when he goes in the Hall of Fame, as he should, if there's a fight, like, I don't know, like, I see a fight when he comes up because I know how the Hall of Fame works. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
How could there be a fight for Joey Votto, man? Because he doesn't have a championship to his name? I mean, come on.
Essentially, yeah. And he doesn't really have any playoff wins either.
It's like Larry Walker here. I don't see how Larry Walker was kept off that ballot for like 3-4 years, man. It's like he was definitely a first ballot. And same with Todd Helton. And you know what they say here, Break? Oh, the altitude. Those numbers were inflated because of the altitude. I'm like, do you know how hard it is to hit a fucking baseball? Fuck off with that nonsense. Yeah. I mean, come on.
And look, for instance, Barry Bonds. Like, we know, forget about like the steroid thing. Like, he had also the knock against him of no playoff, like no tournament.
Right.
He's one of the greatest hitters that's ever lived.
Right. I mean,
he doesn't have anything to show for it.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. I mean, if you take the steroid years away, he still makes it into the Hall. It's crazy, man. It's like when there was this big hullabaloo about Lawrence Taylor, right? Oh, he's fucking he was a drug addict and cocaine and all that. Yeah, that's true, but two things can be true at the same time. You can be on illegal substances and you can be a great football player.
Yeah, what was that one guy that's really, really, really horrible piece of shit, but he was such a good player?
O.J. Simpson?
No.
Kobe Bryant.
Let's just move on from there.
Okay. Do you remember Boomer Esiason? Yes, I do, Scotoma. He still does like commentary and shit like on those shows.
Yeah, I think he does CBS. Doesn't
Yeah, he should retire, man. He's looking old. Same thing with Phil Simms, man. Those guys should just fucking go away.
Also, there seems to be a seesaw thing with LeBron James going back to the Lakers and then back to the Cavs and back to the Lakers.
No, he's been with the Lakers for a few years now. And I was so happy when the Nuggets kicked the shit out of the Lakers in the playoffs, man. 4 straight games. It was like, yeah. I was like, yes. Because I've been frustrated for years in the 80s. Like, if not for the fucking Lakers, the Nuggets would have had championships. And they killed all my dreams every fucking time. We would run into the fucking Lakers in the playoffs, and we would play them good, but they would always win and win championships because they had, like, every great player known to mankind, but whatever. But I'm happy because the Nuggets are kicking ass. They won the championship last year, and they're going to probably do it again this year. So there you go. All right, what else you got, Break?
Okay, let's see.Moving on. My system.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Moving on. Well, we talked about it a little bit, but the Ohio Republicans. We'll get into Sweetos what happened, but they've decided that they're going to undermine everything. Just openly, they're saying they're going to do it. We had one thing that's going to be a constitutional amendment. I mean, it's put into our fucking state constitution. The other's a law. They can't do much to fight the state constitution, but they're going to try with other ballot measures and stuff like that. They're going to try and get other
and waste our tax dollars while doing it.
Yeah, wasting our tax dollars to do it. Yeah, exactly. So they're going to keep fighting it. And so the only way we're going to stop it is if we vote out the Republicans. It's the only way. The second one, however, isn't a constitutional amendment. It's just a law. So they are going to do everything they can to handicap it.
Go right ahead. See how that works for you in the polls next year, fuckfaces. You know? I mean, that's all I got to say. I mean, it's the same thing with Democrats.
The problem is the state's very gerrymandered, and if you walk outside the city, it suddenly goes from it's the cities are really progressive, and then you walk out into Trump land, essentially.
Yeah, well,
like rural Ohio is Trumplandia.
Well, they got the laws passed, so I'm sure they can combat any other fucking law that comes
and that's
through.
The thing, is, like the two laws were popular. The Republican Party isn't representing anybody because a lot of these passed because Republicans supported them.
You know what else is popular?
Support and marijuana were supported heavily by Republicans as well as Democrats.
Yeah. You know what else is popular that isn't popular in Congress? Is a ceasefire with Israel and in the Gaza Strip.
Because that one's on my list too. Because now we're up to 10,000 fucking dead.
Mm-hmm. It's 66 of Americans. All right, it's like 80% Democrats and I think it's like 65% Republicans, or 55. I think I can't remember, but it's still a majority, right? A vast majority of Americans want a ceasefire. And you know how many Congress people want a ceasefire? 4%. 4% of Congress. So that
Tlaib and then who else? That's about it.
Yeah. Well, Tlaib and probably Ilhan Omar and a couple of others. But 4% of Congress wants a ceasefire, and it's like 66% of all Americans want a ceasefire. So that's a hefty majority.
And we want this. We've got politicians in certain areas saying they're going to enact laws to try and get Palestinians kicked out of our country.
Oh, wonderful!
Like what you just said, the American people support ending a war, and our politicians are saying, "Well, we don't want to end this war. We're going to kick everybody out that we don't like. We're going to use this war as an excuse."
Yeah, go ahead. See how that works for you too. Like Scotoma said last week, this is a fucking melting pot. I mean, whatever. Freak 5 says my stinko DoorDash used to pay base pay for each order. When they stack them, but now when you get a stack, you only get one base pay. So before 2 orders, you would get base pay $4. Now if it's stacked, you get base pay of $2 no matter how many orders are. Fuck that, Freak 5.
Fuck that nonsense. Yeah.
Fuck that. They can't afford $2 fucking each order to give you guys. Fuck that, man. That company blows.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got,
Yes,
Break?
the High Republicans, obviously, in their political scamming and scheming, and they're being so open about it. It's one of the most infuriating problems too. It's just like, we're going to do this, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do to stop us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, you fucking pricks.
They don't tip at Buffalo Wild Wings, Freak Five? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get a tip for that? That blows, man. Fuck that job, man. All right,
I've
what
got too
else?
much thinkers. I'm trying to find the one. It's a news article, and where are you, news article? I need to find you right now. Where is it? There was a shit. It's gone. I don't know what the fuck it is. Basically, there was a politician who was a preacher too, and so a right-wing guy, and his opponents apparently found out that he liked to cross-dress in his spare time, and they forced out in him, and he killed himself.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I know there were some people that tried to mention that he did some bad stuff, but that doesn't matter because we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact he was driven to suicide because he was outed.
Oh, victim shaming? Yeah, that's pretty. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, like queer people. I think one of the worst things you can do is out us against our will.
Yeah.
I mean, some people it's worked out for, but a lot of times it's just.
It's too much. It's too much, Break. We know this. I mean,
especially for somebody like him who's supposed to be like a religious figure, like a pastor or a preacher or something like that, but his congregation don't understand his desire to dress up as a woman, and I mean, he wasn't hurting anybody. And now he's dead because of intolerance, essentially.
Yeah. Sucks.
I don't know what his politics were. Like I said, he was a Republican, so we know how I feel about the Republican Party right now. But I haven't always felt.
The Republican Party has changed completely, Break, man. It used to be different, way back in the day. It was fiscal responsibility, and that whole fucking thing.
Now it's only fiscal responsible when the Democrats spend money. When they get in power, they like to spend money like drunken sailors.
Right. All right, what else you got, Break?
So yeah, I can't find the guy's name. I can't find the story, but yeah. So forced outing, another suicide.
I did see that.
Don't fucking do that. Just don't. I don't know if this is really a stinko because I kind of just find it funny. So I was using Twitter the other day, or X, whatever it's called, and I was having fun celebrating the victory and calling out the swine and all these criminal Republicans we have in Ohio. And at one point I said 4 little words, and I want your opinion on what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Save Ohio, abort Republicans.
I can see where that would have been a little inflammatory, Break, man.
But, I understand inflammatory, but you can't abort somebody who's living,
right.
So it's not like. So I'm not saying kill them.
It was tongue in cheek. I understand what you mean.
Exactly, because they lost the abortion fight.
How long did you get suspended for, Break?
That's the thing is they said delete this to continue, so I deleted Twitter.
Oh, you just deleted Twitter?
Yep. I said, well, yeah, I'm standing by this comment. Fuck you, you're gone. You said delete it, so I'm deleting you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the end of RPGrinders on Twitter. I mean,
sorry,
RPGrinders. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep you on Blue Sky for a while, Break, man.
Yeah, I keep getting on there. I keep just been so busy. I need to get.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. Anything else, Break?
No, I think everything.
All right, Eric, you're up.
My stanko is that Sony's removing the Twitter sharing from the PlayStation next week, so only a few days.
I think Twitter's on its last legs, to be honest, guys. I mean, they're going to start charging next year a little bit of money, and that's when that's when I'm like.
I mean, it's not completely going to go away. You're still going to have to I mean, you can't do it directly from the PlayStation anymore. You'll have to use a third-party app like the PlayStation app to share the photos you take on your PlayStation 4 or 5.
Scotoma says harmonica is out. Pour one out for Twitter.
Elon wants them to pay
or how
more
about Death March
for the feature, and they don't want to. So
Yeah, it has to be the Death March
I hit
break.
a side note there. Side note. Okay, sorry.
Tipping culture is out of control. It's only out of control when people don't want to pay their employees decent
the
money.
thing is, we shouldn't. Other countries put tips into the pay. Like tipping is an American thing.
Yeah,
we should just be paying people.
Right, I agree. I'm 100% in agreement.
Basically, they're depending on the customer to pay their employees.
Look, Scotoma says the same thing.
Bullshit.
Like we're all in agreement here. These cheap companies need to pay employees a living wage. I 100% agree with you, Scotoma. The bare minimum should be $22 an hour. If you kept up with the rate of inflation, it actually should be a little bit more now. But let's just say $22 an hour. And if you're in a tip-based business right now, they should just pay you $22 an hour. Period. You know, none of this shit. All right, what else you got, Break? Anything?
It's Eric's turn.
Oh, Eric, go ahead.
no, that's really all I have to say.
Yeah. All right. Mine is check this out, guys. So, LaSalle, like Colorado, is just fucking whack now. I don't know what the hell's going on in this state of mine, but LaSalle, Colorado. I'm just gonna read this. LaSalle, Colorado. Cops kill a man over a, quote, suspicious paint job. So now you don't get like there's driving while black, there's walking while black, and this is not a black person. This is not a race thing. I know, but this guy parked his car, like they said he was double parked. What is your guys' understanding of what double parked means?
It means you're parking on two spaces, right?
No. Double
parking the way where you're taking up two spaces.
No. That's straddle parking. That's something completely different and not illegal. Okay. Double parking is when, like, you're out on a street, right, public street, and somebody's parked, like, next to the curb, and you park next to them. That's double parking, right? Okay. That's illegal. There are laws against that. You get a ticket. You could get towed. There's.
I see why you're blocking the road.
Yeah, you're blocking a road, right? But that's double parking. That's the legal definition of double parking. So, okay.
Well, I learned something today.
Yes. Straddle parking is when you're a douchebag and you're in a private parking lot, like a mall, and we've all seen this where and especially happens with like these big ass monster trucks like F-150s and 250s and Dodge Rams.
Yes. It's always the big trucks.
Yes, always the big trucks. Usually, I mean, sometimes it's an old woman that doesn't know what the fuck she's doing and she parks in two spots.
Okay, sometimes it's a bad driver, but when it's intentional, it's always a big truck.
Right. And that's straddle parking. There's nothing illegal about that. Now, are you a big douchebag for parking in two spaces? Yes, you are. Especially if it's busy, Be back online now. This guy backed in. So you could tell he wasn't like doing it on purpose. He backed in and he straddled. Okay, so he took handicap parking is for executives. I know, right, Scotoma? But it was in the back of this Family Dollar store, right? So it was out of the way. There was no problem. There was plenty of parking. He parked his car out of the way, but it was straddled. It was in two parking spots, but it wasn't affecting anybody. So was he a douchebag? Probably, but really, not really. And so these cops look at this car, and it's got an out-of-state license plate from Oklahoma, right? It had an indigenous license plate, by the way, meaning he was Native American. And they look at the car, and the windows were slightly open, so there was transparency, right? There was nothing going on there. He was just parked there, right? But they thought it was suspicious that he had a new paint job. It wasn't, hey, Scotum, I appreciate that. I don't know what that means, but hey, there you go. It should be back. Refreshed. Somebody type. Somebody.
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah, somebody tell Scotoma to
months of
refresh.
high quality.
Tell Scotoma to refresh. Somebody in chat. So, anyways, this guy. So the cops are looking at it, and the cops are like talking with each other, and he's like, that smells like fresh paint. That's suspicious. What the fuck? Can you guys tell me, first of all, what their qualification is for like smelling paint? Maybe they ate chips as a kid, and like paint chips as a kid, and all that type of shit. Are we back? Scotoma, here, let me, I guess I'll have to type it in there. Can somebody type in there, are we back? I don't know if we're back or not. So, okay. So, they're already trying to conspire with each other. They were like, well, we could do two things here. We could have it towed, which is incorrect. You can't just, as a cop, you can't just go up to a car and say, we're going to tow this on private property, right? So already you can see the machinations in place. They're going to go inside the store, and they're going to solicit like some nefariousness, right? So, and then the guy is like, or we could do the nice thing and put a sticker on it, one of those big obnoxious like neon orange stickers on the car. Yeah, right. Which is a pain in the ass, but aren't they just supposed to be nice in general? And then the other cop, the training officer, says, or I could pull the cruiser up here, and we could go in and question him. So they do just that. They decide to take the third option, and by the end of this, they end up shooting and killing this guy. They go inside the building, the Family Dollar store, and it's unclear. Somebody opened the back door, which set off the alarm, and it's unclear whether or not it was this guy. But last I checked, that's not illegal to go out a back door. Even if you do set off an alarm, there might be a ticket attached to that. I don't know.
It can get you kicked out of the store.
Yeah, kicked out of the store. That's what.
Kick you out.
Right, kick you out for trespassing and whatever. Right, I agree. So by the time the one cop gets around, the other cop has a gun drawn on the car, and he's trying to get out of there. So he's leaving, which again is not illegal, and they shoot and kill this guy. So this guy got killed over a, quote, suspicious paint job. So that's my stinko of the week.
What the hell is a suspicious paint job?
I'm going to get more information on this, guys. Like they see, what I'm interested in is what the other cop said. They had the body cam footage from the cop that shot. I want to know what they were saying after they shot him. That's what I want to know, and I'm going to get that information. So I might have to make a trip to
Is there like a certain paint job that makes you look like a bank robber or
well,
something?
what the theory was...
I mean, was the car like rainbow colors? Like it was gay guy? Like what happened?
No. It was white. And he said, this is a roll-on job. Like somebody took a roller... Like they're trying to hide their paint and change the color of the car. And it just reeks of stupidity. Scotoma says that officer sounded like he was in fear for his life, so it was justified. I mean, really?
You know what? I think cops just watched that one episode of South Park where they teach the boys how to get away with shooting endangered animals. Yeah. They say, it's coming right for me.
Yep.
I think that's what cops do anymore. He was coming right at me.
You're not far off, man. In the Elijah McClain trial, they said that Elijah McClain was fucking grabbing for a gun, and I'm like, where the fuck did you see that in any shape, form, or fashion? I mean, it just...
When Mike Brown was killed, like, he was unarmed at the time, and the cop said he started to run away, and he was coming back towards me, and I feared for my life, so that's when I shot him. So wait,
they said the same thing about George...
being attacked at the point, he was away from you.
Right. They said the same thing about George Floyd. They said the same thing about Eric Gardner. Do you remember Eric Gardner in New York, Breakman? Where he was selling fucking cigarettes, which definitely is an illegal act, right? You can get fined for that. But that's not worth killing somebody over, right? That's what he got killed over. Choked out because he was selling cigarettes. Fuck, man. Yeah, they have key phrases that are taught to say so that they get away with murder easier. I know, Scotoman, it's sick, it's gross, and it's something that I'm trying to change here in Aurora, Colorado, and Denver, Colorado. So,
they don't have to try hard because they also got the media coverage because we have their unions and their captains who call up and say how they're good people and how that cop is like I talked about the cop last week, like how the chief came out and said like he's liked by every other officer, he's liked by the public and stuff like that. And
have you ever seen the local news?
When there's a cop,
right?
When an officer, Jesus Christ, when an officer shoots somebody, it's an
right.
officer shooting.
Breakman, have you ever seen local news when somebody finds out that somebody was a killer and they were their next door neighbor? So they go and they interview the next door neighbors, right? And they always say he was the nicest guy. He was so quiet, you know. I mean that's what that's equivalent of to. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing to what's going on. You know, that's a major reason why I have problem with local media and nationwide media, and especially legacy media. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
so,
and like I said, they love to downplay it. Like if an officer kills somebody, it's like it was an officer involved shooting, or there was an officer involved incident, or something like that. You know,
officer involved shooting instead of murder. You know. All right, let's move on to happier thoughts, guys.
Dude, what does my fancy say?
Sweeto of the week.
All right, Breakman, your Sweeto of the week.
All right, I've definitely got some Sweetos. I've been talking about issue 1 forever and how the Republican Party has done everything within their power and above their power and outside the law and outside of our Constitution to try and defeat an abortion amendment. Well, it won in a landslide. It's like 57 to 43%, I think, or 58 to 42. But like a huge landslide, and so our Republican Congress, our elected officials aren't representing us. I mean, and I've heard the argument, well, we're a republic, not a democracy. Well, they're supposed to represent us, supposed to be a representative republic, right? Well, they're not representing us, so I don't know how that would be a republic.
I think.
Anyway, so issue 1 won, and it's one in the Constitution. It's a constitutional amendment, so there's not much they can do about it.
Yep.
Like I said, what they're going to try and do is they're going to add new. Next time we go to vote in next election, they're going to add like amendments to it and stuff like that, just for us to vote on. They're going to keep going as long as we're in power.
You could try.
So,
you could give it.
They're going to keep doing that.
You could give it a good old. What do they call that? A college try. You know.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Give it the old college try. You know.
Old college try. That's right. It is. Yeah. And issue 2 also passed. Issue 2 is different. It's there's the marijuana approval, but it's not a constitutional amendment. It's a law.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, the Republican Party can do things to this, and they are going to try and handicap this as much as they can, because our Republican guy, DeWine, has been dead set against marijuana from forever. Like he tried to use he tried to use Oregon. It's like, or no, Colorado. He tried to use Colorado. He tried to use your state as an example. Like, he's like, well, we don't know all the results. Like, look, they've got more traffic accidents and stuff like that.
That's full of shit.
We look over at Colorado and what you guys are doing.
because alcohol is totally not gonna make you crash and stuff. Like
it's okay. So what he's referring to, Breakman, I know what he's referring to, right? Of course, there were going to be more traffic accidents after it was legalized here, right? Because it's legalized clear across the board, so people are, free from that, right? So, but proportionately, I mean, it went up slightly, but crime overall here in Colorado went way down. That's what happened. That's the result of legalizing weed. The crime rate went down.
Has made fucking bank.
Yes.
So much money.
Yeah.
We're losing so much money in Ohio to Michigan. Like, people just cross the border all the time.
Yeah. I don't blame them. I mean, it's illegal to cross that border. Well, now it's not because both those states are legal, but You know, I mean, it's just insane to me. Now that's 25 states, so half the country. Half the country, it's legalized. It's just
there are probably more accidents because it currently was illegal, and you got all these people scrambling to get to another state to get their legal weed. Yeah. So more accidents happen as a result of just more vehicles being out on the road.
Well, it's more likely this. Think about like the Catholic girl going through school, through elementary school and high school and stuff like that, and she's got to be the perfect girl. Yeah. She's got to please her parents and follow all this stuff. And then she goes away to college, and she's free from her parents, and she's free from all the, everybody telling her what to do and how to do. Suddenly she's like, the big out girl and stuff like that. And, she's like the biggest party girl in town or whatever.
Yeah. What else you got,
Basically, people have been telling no, no, no. And as soon as they get to say yes, there is going to be like this big explosion of people going like, yeah. And people are going to overindulge.
Yeah, of course.
That is going to end. That will end. That'll stop. That'll tip off once it's like not. Once the novelty of it being legal wears off.
Yeah, I agree. And you might not even see an explosion of like what you're thinking. Like it wasn't here in Colorado. It was like the chillest thing, man. It's like we were liberated. It's like setting the example for the rest of the country. It's like this is what it could be. I mean, I think it should be decriminalized, but who am I? But
I mean, okay, better example, like the Catholic schoolgirl, she's told that she's going to grow up and be a nun, and then she goes to college and she decides she's going to be an astronaut.
That's a great analogy. Yep. Freak 5 says, kind of a sweeto. Last night, I got an offer for a no-tip order from a local Mexican restaurant. I declined it. Next order was a stack. Arby's in that same Mexican restaurant. I was sure it was the same no-tip order, so I went in and I said I couldn't deliver that order. It must have been the no-tip order because the pay didn't go down. Well, that's good. Fuck not tipping, man. I mean, I agree with everybody that we all should deserve more, like $22 to $25 an hour. I think that's what Skodoma says. But I mean, right now it's a tip-based industry, so fucking tip, you cheapos.
It's just ridiculous that we live in a world where we've been encouraged to pay for somebody else's work, the customer instead of the employer. Why? Essentially, like they have to live off our tips. Like I've known plenty of servers and waitresses over the years, and they live off the tips because they're not getting paid shit.
Why is it that one of the reasons for pro-abortionists is that they will grow up poor and struggle when rich people are the worst? I don't even know what that question means, Skodoma. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean it just.
He's talking about like the. He's saying when like a poor mother, say, gets an abortion, that he's saying that we're saying we don't want any more poor kids, but at the same time we're saying rich people suck too. We don't want more rich people.
Well, look, check this out. Two things can be true at the same time, right? So that's
my thought is it's not my decision. It's not mine.
It's not my body. I don't give a fuck what anybody else does with their body, and nor should anybody else.
Also, a lot of these politicians want sweeping bans that go after more than just abortion, like getting rid of Planned Parenthood, which does more than abortions.
And that's getting rid of Planned Parenthood.
And also, you're not thinking about the logistical issues regarding said abortion. Like, yeah, getting a pregnancy is also expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because our health insurance is garbage.
Yeah.
And medical and our healthcare is garbage.
Right, and our pay is garbage, and what else? I mean, there are
two reasons for the quote unquote late term abortions. One is medical necessity for a woman. The other is because the woman was not able to access proper health care earlier in her pregnancy, either because of location or money. So every time the the pro-life people get a Planned Parenthood closed down, they're causing the late-term abortions they're upset about.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle, man. I hate it. I don't understand.
People are causing the late-term abortions.
Yeah. Okay.
They're causing their own problems.
Yeah, we
But
gotta.
they're hurting women in the process.
Yeah, we gotta continue on here, guys.
I know, Sweetos. We're supposed to be celebrating. So issue 1 and 2 passed.
Yeah.
And then I found this when I went to vote. I don't like to just randomly pick names, or vote down party line or stuff. So if I don't know who somebody is, I look them up. And I was looking up characters. I'm going to call them characters.
Yes.
I was looking up some of these characters running for the Cincinnati School Board, and one caught my attention because he was endorsed by Moms of Liberty.
Oh, okay.
Paul Shield. Well, not only did Paul Shield lose, he came in dead last.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. Which unfortunately there were apparently in this area 9 candidates endorsed by Moms of Liberty. 2 of those unfortunately got into different school boards, but the other 7 were unanimous, were wholeheartedly told fuck that nonsense. See, if I wasn't paying attention, I could have accidentally voted for this asshole,
Yeah, Scotoma says, would you say growing up without adversity is better than one who overcomes adversity? I'd say that's subjective, Scotoma. Some people never have adversity and they're just fine, and other people have adversity and they overcome it and they're better for it. So
And
two
some
things.
people are completely pieces of shit because they never have adversity.
Well, that's what he's
So-
saying.
Some of us don't overcome the adversity and we just kind of struggle.
Yeah, I mean there's.
Or the adversity makes you worse.
I'd
Yeah,
say
that's true.
again, Scotoma, I'd say 2 things can be true. There can be people that grow up with no adversity that are just as good, if you will, as people who are overcome adversity. I'm not saying overcome.
Then there are people
Hold on,
who-
Eric. I'm sure that overcoming adversity makes you a stronger person. I've overcome a lot in my life. I mean, so much, Scotoma. But that doesn't necessarily make me better than someone that grew up with no adversity and nothing to worry about money wise or anything like that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that any one person is better. I would say that would give you more toughness in life and more of a chance to understand the way life really is. That's what I would say. All right.
Break's making a drinking game. I'm gonna purposely try to interrupt Frank so he
You don't have to try, Eric. You just you just do. All right, Eric,
because
you're.
I never
I'm
I never be able to say anything if I don't.
Oh,
so.
stop it, Eric. I always look. I'm the least talkative one on this show. Well, maybe second least. I don't know. Eric, what are your Sweetos?
I'm not done.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry,
because-
Breakman. Breakman's not
Oh.
done.
Another Sweeto. It's been
Okay.
that kind of week. Like I said, it was a pretty good week.
Yeah, go ahead.
Something happened earlier in the year that really, really irritated the shit out of me on a personal level. And I threw a fit about it, and I was hoping that enough other people threw a fit about it that things would change. To the point that every time I go to Costco, I look at their menu and hope they'd change. And I got the shock of a lifetime yesterday when I found out the mango smoothie is fucking gone, and they brought back the berry smoothie.
Oh, they brought back the berry smoothie.
Yes,
Sweet.
thank God they got rid of that mustard-looking, gross-ass tasting. I don't know what it was.
Does it
and
look
that
like?
was
Does
the
it
mango.
look like somebody vomited in a cup or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Tasted like it and smelled like it too. So that's finally gone. I guess it lasted like 4 months or something.
You just don't
and
like Mongo, man. I know what it is. You're a mongist.
Among Us.
Freak Pie says when Frank exiles someone, take a drink. I haven't exiled anyone today, so All right,
Whoa.
what else you
really?
got, Break?
Yep, nothing happened yet.
I'm disappointed, chatters. Get to work.
Yeah, Eric, is yours just piggybacking off a Break? I see it's just
Yeah. Issue 1 and 2 passing. Yeah.
Did you have anything else to add to that, Eric, or
Not really.
okay?
Other
Most
than
of-
like,
most of the things
okay,
that-
I can mention this. Like the Kentucky governor kept his position.
Oh, Bashir. Right? Yeah, I saw that too, which is really weird because Kentucky's such a red state. All right, my pseudo is my parents are
I just hope that his term he's allowed to actually be able to do anything without interference, but it's probably pipe dream.
All right, Eric, are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. My sweetos are my parents are celebrating their 50th anniversary, so congratulations to them. Also, this was kind of weird, guys. Like I got an email from Vudu, right? That service where I buy movies digitally and whatever. How dare you, Bernie? Bernie's exiled.
Bernie,
Son of a bitch.
You broke the exile streak.
Yeah, we were all doing so well, Bernie, until you had to get into chat. Son of a bitch. Vudu upgraded 15 of my movies into 4K for free. All the Harry Potters. I forget what all else was upgraded, but I thought that was pretty fantastic. I didn't have to pay for the upgrade. So 15 movies upgraded to 4K. So yes. And Breakman is exiled. Son of a bitch.
But all right, what are you talking about? Frank's actually a team. Jake.
Eric, you're exiled. You son of a bitch. You know this is weird. The only two people that didn't get
Jacob. Sorry, not Jake.
The only two people that didn't get exiled were Freak exiled. You son of a bitch. How long after they married did your parents adopt you, and when did they adopt a senior citizen? How dare you, Freak 5? You son of a bitch.
My parents are I think they're on their 47th anniversary.
Wow. Saggy booties. Bernie, what the hell's wrong with you? Look, Scotoma is like the only innocent one in chat, and he'll get his real soon, I guarantee.
He's thinking of he's right now thinking of something to top everybody else.
Yeah. That's exactly what he's doing. Fucking conspiring sons of bitches. Scotoma is exiled for sure. That any mention of Nickelback on this channel will get you immediately exiled. I told you guys that when we went to the Pantera concert, there was this dorky dude that was wearing a Nickelback shirt. I even have a picture of it.
They weren't there, right? Like they weren't just an opening act, right?
They weren't there at all.
Okay.
At all.
Shirt of a different group.
No, it was Spirit Box and who else was there? Bernie at Lamb of God. How could I forget Lamb of God? Freak 5 is exiled, you son of a bitch, and Bernie B is exiled again just for getting the ball rolling.
I got 2.
Yeah, you got 2, and you're about ready to get 3 out of the studio. Son of a bitch.
Do it.
You're exiled out of the studio, Bernie. Get out of here. All right. Let's move on to the free-for-all before I fucking blow a gasket. I'm walking off the show, Eric. You're exiled, you son of a bitch. Papa Roach. How dare you? Son of a bitch. Okay, what do we got? We got to get this thing going, man. I got to go celebrate my...
30, holy shit. This is the best duo since it's Thanksgiving, share and share alike.
Yeah.
Started out with the most famous duo of all time. Mario and Luigi are going to take on Bill and Lance from the Contra series. Frank, you start this out.
I think you're all sons of bitches, and that's what I think. Freak 5 is exiled, you son of a bitch. Although that is kind of true.
Chat now because I'm doing this, so somebody's going to have to rechat for me.
Walking off. Go be a security guard somewhere. I'm going with Mario and Luigi. It's a pretty easy call.
Eric?
Mario and Luigi.
Even though Mario and Luigi don't always work together, they have worked together a lot, whereas Bill and Lance are always together, but still, Mario and Luigi are iconic. It's really hard. It's an easy one for...
Yeah, that was a tough one, but Mario and Luigi pretty easily.
I mean, it's a tough one for Bill and Lance to overcome as well.
Yeah. Freak is exiled, you son of a bitch.
No, see, I gotta go read what he says.
No, you don't gotta read what he says, you son of a bitch. You got a tournament to do.
Okay. Sorry. Next, we have Snake and his BFF Otacon versus Shepard, Commander Shepard of the game that Frank is slowly falling into addiction.
Yeah.
And Garrus, the either best friend or lover, depending on how you play the game. I always played as best friend because I don't want to do the aliens, and he is your like best buddy. And he is the most loyal guy. Like when you start the sequel in the third one, like getting him is like a major deal.
Scotoma. Scotoma says, I like my women like my Thanksgiving turkey brown and making me unbutton my pants.
Anyway, Eric, you start this.
Top flight security. How dare you, Freak 5? I'm walking off! Eric, go.
I have to go with, Shepard and Garrus, too.
I would have went with Snake and Otacon, man. That's interesting. Okay.
Well, you still get a vote.
Snake and Otacon.
Okay. Then it puts it on me. Interesting. Ooh, BFFs either way. You can have a sexual relationship with Garrus. I get the idea.
You know what? I'm gonna vote for Snake and Otacon because I just thought of something.
I get the idea. Otacon really, really wants to be with Snake.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. So what were you gonna say, Eric?
Because I was thinking about it, and Commander Shepard and Garrus really only works if you actually take the time to interact with Garrus, whereas Snake and Otacon has been a consistent thing.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Otacon, you saved his life once, and he's like a wandering little puppy. Like you can't get rid of him. I mean, Snake saved his life once, and like now he's with you forever, dude. Anyway, so Snake and Otacon move on. I was gonna go with Shepard and Garrus because I love Garrus. He is the BFF. Anyway, we're gonna move on to Final Fantasy and the first happy ending in any Final Fantasy game. Cecil and Rosa, as they celebrate their wedding at the end, boyfriend and girlfriend throughout the game, versus Professor Layton and his loyal Luke Trenton. I believe I'm going to start this one out, and this is an easy one for me. I said, like I said, it was the first happy ending to a game I'd really seen, them getting married, and there was love. Frank,
I'm a big fan of happy endings, so I agree with you. I'm going with Cecil and Rosa.
Eric?
Gotta vote for Cecil and Rosa.
So it's.
Is it Cecil or Cecil?
It's
I was
Cecil.
about to ask, we all go with Cecil. Like I've heard Cecil.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard
Cecil.
It is Cecil. It's
Yeah.
Cecil in official works.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Cecil. Yeah.
Okay, so Cecil's just my Midwestern bullshit. Okay.
Although Square has decided to be a little fucky and redone the official pronunciation for Titus, and they're calling him Titus instead of Titus, which is supposed to be.
Okay.
How about we
I
just
have
call
to
it whatever
remember
we
that.
want? There we go.
Anyway, Cecil and Rosa move on, and it was unanimous. 2 unanimous out of 3 were so far starting the same way we did last week. Sora and Riku versus Triplicata and Monkey. Sora and Riku aren't essential they don't have to work together to win, whereas Triplicata and Monkey are a package deal. Eric, you can start this one.
I think Sora and Riku just have a stronger dynamic regardless, though, so I'm voting for them.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to downplay their relationship. I wasn't trying to do that. I don't really. Just could go with flip a coin for me. So I'm gonna put Frank on the spot and go Triplicata and Monkey.
This is a tough one because I like both of these team ups. I'm one of the few that played Enslaved. I really like that game, man, but I really like Sora and Riku's dynamic. I'm gonna go with Sora and Riku.
I was gonna say, if you're basing it on the game as opposed to a relationship, I would say you should go with Sora and Riku.
Yeah.
They move on.
Skotoma's exiled, you son of a bitch. At least you made me laugh on that one, Skotoma.
What do you say?
You said Frank's version of a happy ending is lasting more than 5 minutes. How dare you?
Wow.
Just ask Bernie about that, Skotoma. All right. Let's continue on here.
I thought his his version of a really happy ending is when he completes and it's not just dust.
Exiled! Exiled! Son of a bitch.
Next, we have one of the most iconic duos of all time.
You're
Ratchet and Clank versus Guybrush Freakwood and Elaine Marley, the pirate woman, and the dork who wants to be a pirate. Versus, the team, the ultimate team, who they tried to split up at one point and nobody even liked that idea. We're like, what the fuck? What are you doing this for? Where's Ratchet at? Frank, you start this one.
It's Ratchet and Clank, man. This one's easy. It's not even close. Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I have to agree. They have a great dynamic. I do like Guybrush and Elaine because they're like the odd couple, in a good way. Like they kind of complete each other, but they don't.
Freak 5 is exiled. Son of a bitch.
Next we have Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine versus the Wanderer and his fateful horse Aggro. I'm gonna go ahead and start this one out. I mean, it's a good relationship, the horse, and it makes me think of Neverending Story and one of the most heartbreaking scenes as a kid, like watching that horse die. Like, no, why are we? Like, this is a kid's movie. Don't kill the horse. But I like Chris and Jill's.
You never saw Watership Down as a kid, did you?
No. I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Oh, my God, man. I saw that as a kid. That traumatized
that's like
me
the
for
Bunny
life.
Massacre movie, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
No, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I've heard of it, but not seen it. I'm going to start this one out. And, Chris and Jill get married at one point, so I got to go with them. Frank?
I can't really stand Chris and Jill Valentine, so I'm going with Wander and Aggro, man. I thought that was a really cool dynamic, and Freak 5 is exiled.
It's a touching relationship, That horse loves his owner, and he loves his horse. And Eric, you're the tiebreaker.
I'll go for Wander and Aggro.
Oh, the horse and the man move on, or boy, I should say. Horse and the boy move on. The married couple can wander off. Next, we have the bromance of the future. The romance of the future, X and Zero versus two guys who got turned into dinosaurs and suddenly started blowing bubbles for whatever reason, because Nintendo games didn't need to make sense; they just had to be fun.
Yeah, I think the story is that a wizard cursed them or something.
Yeah, and they're off to save their girlfriends.
Freak 5 is exiled, son of a bitch.
Actually, both of these, X wouldn't have been able to complete his mission without Zero sacrificing himself. And Bob and Bob can't save their girlfriends without each other. So these guys need each other. Either way you start to vote. Frank, you can start this one.
I think I'm going to go with Bub and Bob on this one, man. It's like one of the few tandems that are like old school Nintendo games. So I got to go with Bub and Bob.
Eric?
X and Zero.
Oh, shit. I was afraid you were going to say that. Because this one's a hard one for me because I love both of these. Like,
I'm fine with either result, honestly.
What's that?
I'm fine with either result.
Just go to my exile.
I am too, because I like both of these. Like, these are, like I said, it's a great bromance between the two. Like, they're designed to be enemies. Like, they're built to literally be enemies. And instead of being enemies, they become the absolute best friends. Whereas Bob and Bob were always best friends, but they work together as a tandem. Like they are, it's Bob and Bob. They're not Bob or Bob. So this is really hard. And God, I love Bubble Bobble, but I'm not ranking this on the characters. I'm not doing the game. I'm ranking it on the characters.
X and Zero actually have a dynamic, whereas Bob and Bob are just two different characters.
I was about to say Zero actually sacrifices himself for X, and that's what's going to push me over the edge. Like at one point, like he's like, here, take my gun and stuff like that. Like, you've got to do this.
Yeah, you both can be wrong.
You're my bro. You can do it. And he's going to move on. Next, we have Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong, who were replaced for whatever reason in the sequels, versus Marcus and Dom, who were also replaced because some guy decided to kill Dom for fucking whatever reason. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes the decisions that happen over in Gameland confuse the fuck out of me. I'm gonna go ahead and start this one out. Marcus and Dom have a really touching friendship. But DK and Diddy, they literally work together. Like they were a team. Like you throw the Diddy as a weapon and shit.
And even if you somehow like throw him over the edge of the screen into a pit, he'll just come back somehow.
I know, that was always fun though. Like take this Diddy every time you screw up. Like go off the edge, you fucker. I'm gonna go with Marcus and Dom just because they has a relationship that was so touching that even years after Dom's death, Marcus still Dom is still his brother, and he still memorializes him. Frank?
I think I'm going to agree with you, Breakman, just because it's very rare in a video game to find two characters with as much. And you know what? That game was built on testosterone, right? Like it was such a manly game, right? But in the middle of this,
are gigantic meat shields.
in the middle of this this testosterone laden beefy man game. Was the dynamic between Marcus and Dom, and I thought it was brilliant writing, and I have to agree with you, Breakman. Marcus and Dom. As much as I love DK
One of the
and
few
Diddy.
things Cliffy B did right.
Yeah, exactly. And he did great in that game, man. That was a great game. So I'm picking Marcus and Dom.
Eric?
Marcus and Dom.
Yeah. Oh wow, a unanimous one. Cool. Next, we're gonna have probably the most diverse relationship of this category because there are so many different versions of these characters. Zelda and Link. We've got romantic couples, we've got just friends, we've got complete strangers until the end. There's all kinds of dynamics there. Versus Ken and Ryu, or Ryu, sorry. It's a Ryu. Why am I 14? Ken and Ryu, who are, another bromance. They basically train together from children until they're adults, and they, no matter what happens, they're always going to have each other's back. They're always going to have friends, but they have kind of the kind of a Goku Vegeta rivalry, but at the same time, they're actually are friends. They admit to being friends. Whereas Vegeta and Goku would never say that. I mean, Goku might, but Vegeta would never say that. I'm going to go ahead and start, and you know what? To throw everybody off, I'm going to go Ken and Ryu. Frank, you're next.
Well, I'm going to put Eric on the spot because I think Zelda and Link, going all the way back to the first Zelda game, I mean, there's a lot of history there, different iterations, whereas Ken and Ryu are kind of bland. It's a bland brotherly love type of thing, So I'm going with Zelda and Link.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's so many Zelda and Link pairings. I have to go with Zelda and Link.
It's kind of not fair. There's so many different versions.
Yeah, it is. It's I that's actually my dark horse to win the whole thing, actually.
They have an unfair advantage. Next, we have Chloe and Rachel from Life is Strange versus Yu and Kai from Haven, a game that I absolutely love. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I love Yu and Kai. It's a young relationship to probably 22, 23-year-olds, like young 20-something type guys and girls. And they added same-sex characters into it too, so you can have that now. So it can be 2 guys, 2 girls, or guy and girl. But they're talking constantly. They communicate. Sometimes they argue like couples do, but they never stop loving each other and they never stop fighting for each other. But there are multiple endings, and there is an unhappier ending, so I don't want to spoil that. And I shouldn't say never because there's that one ending. But their relationship is it's basically fully developed when the game starts. They're together as a couple, and it's the early stages of a relationship, like after the honeymoon period of a relationship, basically, where they're starting in where like after the first 3 months or something like that, where they've really gotten used to each other, and it's no longer butterflies when you see that person, like you're nervous to see them type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why am I talking about this? Let's you and Kai, you're next, Frank.
Freak 5 is talking about getting pegged by Miss Piggy, I think, in chat, and Skotima's exiled. I'm gonna go. Man, this is a tough one because I've never played Haven, but I've seen extensive video on Haven, and it looks fantastic. Breakman can't stop talking about it. He was playing it for a long time, really enjoyed it.
It's because it's like Prince of Persia, like the relationship.
Yeah,
that's what I love most is the relationship.
I am a fan of Life is Strange, and I think that's a game that more people should be playing. But I'm gonna go with you and Kai. I'm gonna trust Breakman on this.
No, they're talking about Mrs. Piggy in chat. Oh, Kermit.
All right, Eric, what are you picking?
You and Kai as well.
Yeah. How dare you laugh, Breakman, son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, what happened?
You and Kai won. Let's move on.
Okay, you and Kai move on. Next we have, was it unanimous or what?
Yeah, it was unanimous.
Okay, you and Kai move on. That's awesome because or you and K. I can't. Okay, Kai, K. You and K. Like very simple names, which made it easy to make them multiple genders. I mean, because those names are pretty generic, honestly.
Yeah, because I think you could gender swap the characters if you want.
Yeah, you can do that now. You couldn't do it when I played it.
Yeah.
But next we have Titus or Titus. I don't know what the pronunciation is anymore. And Yuna and their cute little cute. What is that term the millennials use? Cute romance thing.
I have no idea.
It's some stupid term. It's a young romance versus Lee and Clementine, who are not romantic in any way. It's basically a surrogate father-daughter relationship, and it's set in the backdrop of an apocalypse for all things. It's a really touching relationship. This is really hard for me, so I'm not going to start. Eric, you're first.
I'm all with Lee and Clementine.
Damn, that was quick, Frank.
You know what? I also am going to go with Lee and Clementine. It's very rare in a video game where you feel as much as you do with two characters like you do with Lee and Clementine.
This one's a hard one for me because I really love that cute little romance they have. Like
Titus and Yuna.
Whistle and the first kiss and all that stuff. But then he turned out to be a dream and
I know. That's what ruined that whole thing for me. I'm like, really? Come on.
One of the stupidest game twists ever.
I know.
Like we knew something was up, but we didn't I bet there was nobody who was thinking, oh, it's gonna be that. I'm like, oh, that was the twist we're waiting for. Anyway, next we have Geralt from
Witcher. Riverdale.
Riverdale. Okay, thank you. And from wherever it is she's from, I don't even remember that one. Versus Kratos and his son Atreus. That is something very rare in a game too. We just talked about Lee and Clementine and their relationship. A father and son relationship is very rare in a video game. I'm gonna go ahead and start this one, and just because of the rarity of it, and we already have other couples on here, and this is about a man who was, for all purposes, like he was not a good guy. Like he was pretty evil. I mean, he was killing gods and shit.
I mean, they all deserved it, but he probably could have resorted to negotiations instead of murder.
And not just the fact that he was murdering. He was murdering in the most brutal ways possible. Like he wasn't even trying to hold back. Like he was ripping people in half. And
Do you ever play those games, the earlier God of War games?
I played the PSP one.
Yeah, they're so good.
It's good. PSP one was good.
Yeah. Plus, there's sex scenes in them, sort of.
Yeah. But because of the dynamic between the two, and Kratos basically he's getting a redemption with his son. He's learning what it's like to be a father, and what it's like to love somebody again.
Yeah.
It all started with the murder of his family, his first family.
Yeah.
So this is him starting over. It's good. Eric, you're next.
I'm going with Kratos and Atreus, since I don't have any reference for Geralt and Yennefer.
I can't believe you haven't played Witcher 3, Eric. I that boggles my mind, man. It's crazy.
I have it. I just need to make time for it.
Yeah. I'm also going with Kratos and Atreus because
is that how it's pronounced? Atreus?
Atreus, yeah. And the reason being is the new God of War games are just it just it not only takes everything that he did in the previous however many games and just like ingrain that he's trying to get away from that, but yet underneath that surface there's still that tension and rage, but he has to temper it because he's got his son there and he tries. I mean, there's tender. I mean, it's a great game. That game is great. I haven't played the latest Ragnarok, but Kratos and Atreus are a great duo. And nothing against Geralt and Jennifer, which is another great duo, but Kratos and Atreus is great, and I'm going with Kratos and Atreus because I want to see them those two battle it out with Lee and Clementine next week.
Ooh, that'll be a good one. Father and daughter.
Scudam is exiled, you son of a bitch, and Freak 5 is exiled, you son of a bitch.
Man, I'm missing all this good stuff. Next we have, and this is the final category, Sonic and Tails versus Mega Man and Rush. They work together. Both of these, like Sonic and Tails is with Sonic every step of the way, and he's the best friend and the biggest fan. Rush is Mega Man's best friend because he's a dog. Frank, you can start this one.
Well, I'm not the biggest Mega Man fan, and I know that's blasphemous on this show because you guys are big Mega Man.
Too hard for Frank.
They really are. I'm sorry to say,
you
but
play like Dark Souls and stuff.
I know. I do play those games. Not very well, but I do play those games.
It's the same type of hard. It's like you keep
Yeah,
playing.
it's a satisfying like when you. Yeah, I know, but I mean Sonic and
every Mega Man
Tails.
game I play, I lose repeatedly before I win.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me.
Game I play Mega Man, I
could make the argument that Mega Man 11 is probably the easiest of all the Mega Mans.
Oh yeah, I believe I've said it before. I think the games have gotten easier every single one.
You know, one of the things I want to accomplish before my video game career is over is beating fucking Bloodborne. I've tried over and over and over to get past that first fucking debacle of a level. I don't even know if it's a level, but holy fuck is it hard, and I cannot for the life of me get past it.
Part of your problem is that you try to fight everything.
While
running away usually gets you killed in a Dark Souls game, in Bloodborne it really doesn't.
I just have this image of like 40 years from now, Frank's 2,000 years old in his bed, like suffering from Alzheimer's, and just every once in a while, Dragon Age 2, fuck you! And
Dragon Age 2 is awful. Dragon Age 2 is fucking awful, man. Like don't get me started on Dragon Age 2 fucking break, man. I you know what? Up until this point, it's been years since that game was even brought up. And now you bring it up, and now I have to remember that debacle of a game again.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Jesus Christ,
man. One
man.
thing you can learn to make the game easier is to remember, like, how much damage you're doing with your light attacks or your heavy attacks, and to exploit the wound injury mechanic of hurting an enemy in a specific location several times will cause them to stagger. And
okay.
if you do it enough times after that, they'll be in position for you to do a visceral attack.
Okay.
That's a Fallout 2 or Fallout 4 mechanic, like shooting certain limbs and stuff like that.
Bloodborne, I've seen. You know how many times I've beat that game without beating that game. Like I've watched so many playthroughs of that game, and I so badly want to play that game and beat it, but every fucking time I try it, every fucking time I throw my fucking controller. I just don't understand it. All right, I'm picking Sonic and Tails.
Picking Sonic and Tails as well.
Yeah, I am too. As much as I love Mega Man, Tails is not only the best friend, he's loyal, he's a fan, and like you need him at some points. He's there to help. Like he's everything.
Skonoma, you're exiled, you son of a bitch.
Well, there was a Jackass episode where a guy.
Yes. Yeah, haven't you seen the Jackass movies, Eric?
No.
Oh my God, you got to watch every one. They're fun as fuck. They're so fun. All right, continue on. We gotta hurry this
I
up.
think that was the last one because I remember that like fresh in my mind. The Godzilla games.
I love the little mural that they had with like the rolling hills, and all of a sudden a volcano erupted and they panned out, and it was Dave England and like shitting, like it was so awesome. It's so gross, but so
amazing
fun.
how they do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they came up with those stunts. Actually, Mrs. Brigman has been watching this show like with like a prank show with Johnny Knoxville now. Basically, they do the same stuff, but they're pulling it on other people. It's like, what? Anyway, Sonic Tales moves on unanimously. Next, we have I talked a little bit about before relationships. This game had a fucking talk button. Just talk to her, Prince and Alika, who is the greatest sidekick ever because you literally couldn't die when she was around.
Yep.
Versus Ellie and Joel. I mean, literally, you fall off a cliff, she pick you up. Like, you miss an edge, you miss a jump, she gets you every single time.
You could not die in that game with that character there.
It.
Yes.
And the talk button, you learned, they played like word games and they talked and got to know each other and they bickered and argued.
That's such an underrated game, Breakman. Yeah. That was such an underrated game.
And then we have Ellie and Joel, which is, that's another surrogate father-daughter relationship. And, I mean, it's so popular, it got some goddamn TV show. So, I'm going to go ahead and start this one out. I love the talk button, and I love the relationship between the two, because she's really standoffish at first. Like, she doesn't want to deal with him. Like, she like, thinks really low of him at the start, but by the end, you can tell, like, and he doesn't, like, he sees her more, I guess, as, like, I would say he didn't see himself as, like, dating her, more of just, like, using her, like, fucking her and moving on type thing.
Yeah.
Like, he saw her more as a booty call at the beginning than a relationship. And by the end, he's madly in love with her. And, whereas, I'm moving. Eric, you're next.
I'm going for the Prince and Elika.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that, Frank.
The game and the TV series are amazing, but as a protest vote, because of how shitty Last of Us 2 ended up being, I mean, as far as, like, narrative goes, I'm going with Prince and Elika, just because.
Wow, that did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I'm actually really shocked. As we have 4 more teams here. We have Cloud and Tifa, and Boy and His Blob. That was a really fun NES game. I never played the remake of it, though. I'll try that.
The remake's all right.
It's all right. Okay. It was really cool NES game. Anyway.
Is that the one where he was, like, feeding the blob, like, jelly beans and shit?
Yeah, you feed him jelly beans and he turns into different things.
And it was, like, the most obtuse fucking game ever back in the day that I couldn't fucking figure out.
That was Castlevania 2.
Oh, Castlevania 2. Boy, His Blob was like that, man. You couldn't figure out shit, man.
I loved Castlevania 2. The only way I ever got anywhere in it was from watching other people, and years later, like, from people showing me, like, here's how you do this. Like, how did you find that out?
How does anybody find out anything in a video game without the internet? I don't understand.
You just fuck around and find out.
I guess.
No, but, like, how long did it take somebody to figure out that you'd have to kneel in a certain spot at a certain point in the game?
They probably thought graveyard duck, and then they thought, you don't mean the literal duck.
I was watching an Elden Ring thing, like how to get to the special boss, and you had to like lay down in a certain position and pose and at a certain time, and I'm like, how the fuck
the game has an interaction icon, so it's even easier. So.
Well, still, it's like, really, how the fuck are you supposed to figure that shit out, man? Or really?
The first time I played Castlevania 2, like, I rented it as a little kid, and I loved the game, but I didn't really understand what the fuck was going on.
Don't get me started on Dark Souls DLC entry where you have to go to a specific location in the Dark Root Basin, and then find a crystal golem after killing the Hydra and reloading the game, because it apparently won't trigger until the game's state is reloaded, so you can quit out, or you just rest out of bonfire. But you have to go back over there, go to past the waterfall, and kill the crystal golem that's got dusk in it, and then she'll pick up a summon sign, and then later on in the game, you can go to when you're going to the Duke's archives. There's another one you can bust open that gives you the broken pendant.
Too much.
And then that's when you go back to where you originally found dusk, and then get sucked into the portal that gets you put into the DLC.
Jesus Christ, fuck that. I'm going with Cloud and Tifa, by the way.
Rick?
Cloud and Tifa.
Oh, wow. They're going to definitely move on. I was actually going to go Boy and his Blob because Cloud, I mean...
Tifa's fucking hot, man.
Loves Cloud, but Cloud seems to barely tolerate her.
Yeah, Tifa's hot, though, man. I mean, she's like
this is dynamic, and I just don't think they have the greatest dynamic.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that, but it's a reason the game is
Scotoma says the McDonald's game was Frank's favorite. How dare you, Scotoma? I don't even know what that is.
You guys disagree. They move on. This is the last fight as we have Jack and Daxter taking on the Master Chief and Cortana. Obviously, everyone knows I love Halo, and I'm going to choose Master Chief and Cortana. But even if Jack and Daxter was going up against a pile of dog shit and a pile of cat shit, Jack and Daxter is still going to lose, in my opinion.
I like Jack and Daxter.
Why? Why?
Because it's fun, man. Those games were fun.
Except Jack, the first one wasn't a big hit like they wanted, like they expected it to be. So they tried to make it like edgy in the second one, and you got like a hoverboard and stuff like that, and it was supposed to be so cool, and it was just such a ugh.
I thought they were good games, man. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but that being said, I can't deny the Cortana and Master Chief stuff, so I'm going with Master Chief and Cortana.
Eric, you're last.
Master Chief Cortana as well.
It's a story of unrequited love. God,
Unrequited. Yeah.
I can't talk tonight. Leave me alone.
That and Burger Time, Scotoma says. Burger Time was a fun game.
Just like Chief Cortana. I
think Bernie liked Burger Time, didn't you, Bernie? Or no, it was fast food that you liked, yeah. On the Atari.
Which McDonald's game? There's like several, and the two I think over there are MC Kids and Ronald McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure by Treasure for the Sega Genesis.
You watched a documentary on the McDonald's Monopoly game, right?
Yeah, it was because it was how the guy scammed it and why the Monopoly game ended in the first place. Because some guy figured out how to steal millions of dollars from McDonald's in the scam.
Oh wow!
It was a 4-part documentary.
I wish he would have keyed me in on that shit, man. That was a fun, but see, I knew it was rigged because like you would always get like not Broadway, where you would get the other one, but you would never get Broadway, so it would like make you think that you could win that shit. Yeah, it sucked.
And that was all because of them, because the scam that this dude created. Basically, he took all the good pieces and he gave them to friends and family.
Fucker, what an ass.
He did it for years.
What an asshole.
Until, like, McDonald's didn't catch on. It was, like, somebody outside of their company caught on. The FBI came to them. McDonald's definitely worked with them.
What, is that on Netflix? And what is it called? Because I would be interested.
Was it on Amazon Prime or something like that? I forget. I don't know.
What is it called?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I forget.
I like watching documentaries, man. They're fun. All right, that's we got to move on there.
It's nice to watch one where, like, it's not about a serial killer or
nobody
or nobody had to cut off a limb to get
there's a movie about GameStop out now with Seth Rogen and a bunch of other people. Yeah. I saw it on Vudu. But anyways, we gotta do our plugs and get the hell out of here. Breakman.
You can follow me at no, you can't.
You cannot follow me on Twitter at RPGrinders. I was wondering why you didn't retweet my tweet today, Break.
Yeah, I've been a bad boy. Naughty boy. I must spank myself later. Wait, what did I say that out loud? Shit.
Yeah. Who shat on the floor at my wedding? That sounds like an interesting podcast, Freak 5. All right, what do you got to Break? Anything else?
Who is that a real thing?
Yes, it's a real podcast.
Wedding?
No, it's a real podcast though.
I know, but I'm thinking like the person who made that podcast actually had that happen to them or something.
Yeah, I don't know. You got anything else?
People are gross. I'm not surprised by this at all.
Yeah.
Like gross, nasty people in this world.
Yeah. All right.
I saw a video of a woman shopping in a grocery store. She just dropped her pants and took a shit in one of the aisles.
Oh, nice.
Just
Very
pulled her
nice.
pants up and just walked away like it was nothing.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I
This is
mean,
the world
you
we
know,
live in, where people do things like that, and it's like, oh, that's normal.
normal.
That's not a few people.
I mean, we're desensitized to fucking mass shootings now, Break. So what you know? I mean,
We're up to what is like five. It's over 500 so far this year.
yeah, we're gonna be averaging 2 a day before no time. So, all right, what else? What other plugs? Break.
No, that's it. I have nothing to plug.
All right, no movies or anything, you know. All right, Eric, plugs.
You can find my written reviews on postfashbrigade.com, or you can listen to my audio reviews on the feed for the podcast, RPGrinders.podbean.com. And if you like either of those things and you want to support me on my Patreon, the link to my Patreon is in my Twitter or Blue Sky profiles at EricRPG.
At EricRPG. Okay, you can follow me on X for the time being, Frank Branches, or Blue Sky, Frank Branches. Which I'm not on Blue Sky yet. I'm kind of waiting until Twitter just completely shits the bed, which they almost did. Freak 5's exiled, by the way, son of a bitch. Let's see. You can follow me on any of the systems, RPGrinders. You can follow my other channel on YouTube, Mexican Longhair at Gmail, Mexican Longhair on YouTube, not Gmail. You know, I do a lot of civil activist work over on that channel. Cop watching and a bunch of other stuff. What else? Watch Anna and the Apocalypse. It's pretty damn good. It was surprising. I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's something different. And Freak 5 is exiled again, you son of a bitch. Poo play. How dare you?
Oh, gross.
How dare you?
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks for the
sorry, Murphy,
warning.
I'm going to have to skip this week.
How dare you?
I'm just not into that stuff.
Paw Patrol, Skodoma says. All right, that's all we got. You guys got anything else?
No, not really.
All right, stay safe this week. We want to see you back next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody.
Yep.
No harmy. Son of a bitch.
Sound on Harmony there.
Yeah. There's Harmy. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next week. I got to get out of here because of, anniversary stuff. So see you guys later in chat and on the archives. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to all the chatters that were lurking, like Oriana, Owanella, Alicidra, Aliens Gathering, ASMR Miyu, Donk7, Drapsnat, Mark Zink, VL Mercy, VMAC, and William Vea 2RW. Thank you all so much. And, of course, Freak 5 Chaos and Skodoma. Thank you guys. You guys rock. Later.